Welcome, Internet, to the Place of Video Games podcast. It's your boy, Dad Ninja Dev, joined, as always, by Donnie Eat the Hype Reese.
I'm here.
As you can see, Delvin is not here.
Still
Florida
okay?
Man is okay.
Is he?
Ish.
Is he ever?
Ish.
Has that,
I mean, he's never just okay.
so that's the question. Like, is he?
Life is kicking him in the ass right now, so he's dealing with
right in the nads over
just
and over and over
repeatedly.
Yeah.
So he's just dealing with that as best he can, as only the Florida Man can, and he will be back when he is able. But he's alive, and he's just working through some shit,
Yeah.
as you got to do sometimes. So
Yeah.
you just get 2D tonight, and we will try to keep the show going. Have a good time. Good little fireside chat, you know? So I have been doing nothing. Let's just jump right into it. Last Friday, I had to go to a funeral, so my weekend was just dealing with that. My wife's cousin, her aunt, or her mom passed away, so kind of like her aunt. And it was tough. The daughters, I've known them all since they were like 8 years old, so a good long portion of their lives I've known them and have seen them grow up, and for them to join the We Lost Our Mom group, it was tough, but we're all in it together. We're there to spread love as a family and just be there for each other, so that was cool. It was good to see them all, but funerals are never fun, so that was my weekend.
But they should be.
They should be. I mean, we had a good time, but then the aftermath hits in, and you're just like, damn, that person's gone.
I generally think for not all of them, of course. I mean, a lot of it's a sad day and is kind of our traditions. But I've had a couple that are memorable because we did have fun moments.
Yeah.
And those are like real strong bonding moments.
Yeah.
It may have helped that maybe I wasn't that close to those people. Maybe I wasn't as distraught as other people were.
Mm-hmm.
But like, and we've talked about this before. We've had deaths in our families during this show, deaths in listeners' families. Like we've been there and we've kind of tackled this from all angles. But when my mother passed, I went home. It was the first time I had been back to Ohio in years, and I stayed with my brother. First time I think we'd ever like stayed together, ever. Actually, we'd only ever seen each other on weekends when I was very young. And there was probably like a 20-year period we didn't see each other at all,
Wow.
So then like we get back together, and it's like, he's got 3 kids and a wife. I've got 2 kids and a wife, and it sucked that that's what it took to bring us there.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't trade that week for anything. It was a great week. It was a great like family bonding, like week. We had a lot of fun times, a lot of stories that are being swapped. It was like kind of like happy tears. And
absolutely.
I tell my wife all the time, like, I don't want people sobbing and distraught, and I don't want it to be, solemn, and formal and priestly, and like I don't want it to be like that. I don't want it to feel like a sermon or anything. Don't do that for me at all. It's just
gonna be a celebration,
right? Like it's
celebration of life. We're getting drunk. We're telling stories.
Not my vibe, right? It's not my vibe at all.
Yeah, no.
It's like, no, we're not. We're
gonna play some video games.
Do something, yeah. We should do this better. Other cultures, I think, do this better than we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a celebration of life rather than a culmination of life. Like, enjoy the good times, talk about what they've done, what they've accomplished, and celebrate them versus mourning
their impact,
the loss. Yeah.
So I tell my wife, I think as you get older, I don't know. I don't want to speak in blanket statements as I so often do. To get all philosophical, as I get older, I definitely notice like a softer outlook on life. You become way more empathetic as I age to the experience of others. And one of the things that I've latched onto is how like fast everything moves on. You know, you
Yeah.
lose somebody that's like really, really impactful, and you're just like right back at it like the next week. You know,
The
like you
world just
still
keeps
remember it and stuff, but like
moving.
life moves on. You know, like the clock
Mm-hmm.
keeps ticking and everything. So it's like that's what I told my wife. You know, because this is what you do when you have a relationship as long as ours. At some point, you do have this talk and you talk about these sorts of things. And I was like, at the very least, like give me a day, and like give me one great day to remember me by any impact I had on you or the kids and my friends, but like remember me. Don't talk about me as like some angelic ideal of a funeral. You know, like but like you know what I'm saying? Like be authentic, like
Mm-hmm.
remember me for everything that I was. You know,
Yeah.
say things that I said, do things as I did them. You know, and I don't care if there's 6 people there or 600, there won't be that many, you know, for me, but like it's like your last moment, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like make that count, you
Yeah.
know, for me. Like this is my last thing because chances are 3 weeks from now you're gonna go multiple days. You probably don't even think about me, or like I'm literally gone. Like that's how it
Yep.
works, and and I hate to say that it's that fleeting. And obviously, if I was to lose my wife, I'm sure if she was to lose me, I'm sure we'll remember each other daily. But you know, the impact wanes, and there
Yep.
are times you go beyond it. And I only bring it up because there are amazing people that have walked this earth that have had profound impacts on millions of people. You know, think about the people that have really changed and accomplished greatness
Yeah.
that I will have never touched. Right?
Mm-mm.
People don't even think about those people.
Exactly.
You know, like that's like it just this shit just it just moves on. Like everything just
Yeah.
kind of moves on. You know, like you say, you're dust in the wind. All the cliches, like it just so it's like
Yeah.
I wish everybody. It's just my personal view, but I wish we looked at it that way. You know, it's just like remember
Yeah.
this person for the best that they were.
Yeah. I really wish we did more of that. And I think one of the hardest parts for people who, when they're really close to somebody, is that the world moves on, but a lot of people sometimes are really stuck in that place. Like I know for my wife, it was really hard for her the way that, yeah, she lost her mom. And like for her, it was just tragically devastating.
Everything.
But the world continues. We move on. And like her thing is like nobody's asking about my mom. Nobody's checking in. Nobody's
That's
like
it.
thinking about
That's
that.
it.
And
Like
that's
it
the
just
hard part. And we
yeah.
have to realize that like life just continues. And when you lose somebody, the world doesn't stop. No, Delvin's not dying. I went to a funeral. I had somebody in my family pass away.
Now I'm happy that we did the title this way. This is a joke that Dev said that I was like, we're not going to do that. And I was like, well, maybe we will. And then here we are, about 10 minutes into the show, and it's like, this has already paid off. Good call.
Yeah. Yes. Excellent.
But yeah, Dev, that's a good point. You're right. It is. That's the hard part. Is you think
Mm-hmm.
we're all selfish in our own individual minds. You
Yeah.
know, we like to think that I'll be remembered for every day. In reality, you won't.
No.
Not to most people, you won't. They
No.
won't think about
Not at
you.
all.
They'll think about you 2 days after you're dead, and they may never think about you ever again. You know why? Because like you, they are also in their own head thinking about themselves. And like
Mm-hmm.
it's just the plight of humanity. You
Yep.
know, it's just how we are. And yeah. So that's my take on the whole matter. I always
Yeah.
and I was happy about it because like I've told stories. I'm definitely not going to go down this rabbit hole, but I've told stories in the past how my mom was. I'll just say she wasn't a great person.
Yeah.
So we had the funeral, and I was doing all of like the traditional things that you do at a funeral, because her sisters were there and stuff, and they're all old, So we had this preacher, and he started talking. He didn't really know my mom and everything. And one of
It's
my
like, get out of
favorite
here.
things that I think I've ever done in my entire life is in the middle of this, a funeral, and boy, was it like a fucking like a trashy funeral, like in this like not great funeral parlor and everything. I just
Mm-hmm.
stopped it. It just didn't sit right
Like
with me.
we're not doing this.
That's exactly
Let's
about
pivot. This is
about 10
ridiculous.
minutes in, and I was like, this is absurd. What are we doing? And then I just looked up and I was like, God, just stop. Please just stop. And he was like, did I do something wrong? I was like, yeah, kind of. Like you're talking about her like you're talking about somebody else. This is not my mom. We all know
Yeah.
that. We're all here. We all knew her. We know that she's not this person. And I'm sorry if this is what you needed to make yourself feel better. I was like, but it doesn't make me feel better.
Yeah. It's not
And
real.
unfortunately for y'all, I'm fronting this, so we're not going to It's, it's like,
Not on my dime.
Right. Yeah. I told my cousins and my aunts, and I was like, look, just let's talk about mom. Do you have a good story about her or anything you want to talk about? Like, I don't want to hear this guy give me the same stuff I heard Sunday morning when I was, 8 years old. Like, get out of here with this nonsense. She didn't live this life. Like, I'm not, and I was like, I was like, I'm not even sure we should even be in a church right now. Do you know my mom? Like, come on, guys. It's weird. It is weird how we just deal with death generally. I've been to a couple funerals where it's like you're sitting there, and I don't know if I'm speaking out loud right now, if I'm saying the things everybody keeps in. I've been to multiple funerals where you're sitting there, and it's like, did anybody even know this person? Because like none of this fits.
Doesn't sound right. Sounds
like none of this fits.
What I can say about this one was like Marsha, she was like big on being at the water. She loved the beach. She went to Pepperdine, and so we actually had the funeral or the celebration, I would say. It was at a restaurant like in the marina. So it was really beautiful. More about celebrating her and who she is. We had a slideshow. There was no preacher, none of that stuff. Sean, her oldest daughter, got up and just talked about her mom and her life and what she did and the impact that she had and just the things that I was like, wow, I didn't realize Marsha did all of this stuff. And then the other daughters and some other family members also just shared stories. So it's exactly what you said. It was a celebration and just a remembrance of who she was and the impact she had versus like this ridiculous mourning. Like it was hard, especially for the youngest, for Lauren, or not Lauren, but Joy. It was hard for her because like she's the baby of the group and just also she's really in that emotional space at the time. And she's just like, I'm just here. And I was like, I totally get that. Like sometimes like all you can really do is show up.
It's too soon.
But again, it wasn't in a church, like, cause that's just not who she was. It wasn't this big to do or anything like that. We had brunch, we hung out, we told stories, we had a slideshow going and we hung out. Like,
I love that.
Yeah. That's really what it should be. Yeah.
I really do. I love that. That's beautiful. Shouts out to that family.
Yeah.
You did good. We can only hope that mine do the same.
Yeah, my wife planned it all out. She got together, and my wife is really good at that.
I want you all to hold a podcast. I want a 4-hour podcast about me.
Oh, we can do that. We're inviting Sean Capri. It's going to be the Sweet Hangs and Times of Donnie Reese. We're going to talk a lot of shit. We're going to get drunk. It's going to be great.
Perfect. Yeah. Should do a shot every time my name is mentioned.
Yep. Shot.
In memoriam of the wonderful
shots.
Keith Diamond.
Yes. Perfect. Oh, man. But yeah, that was my weekend. And this week, work has just been work. I am mentally checked out. I am going on a cruise leaving Sunday. So I will not be here next week.
Senioritis.
Yeah, absolutely. I've totally checked out of work right now. And yeah, we're finally taking a family vacation. We haven't had one since.
Deb, the service crashed. Deb's like, that's cool.
Yeah, there's somebody to handle that.
I don't know. Figure it out.
Yeah, you talk to Mitch. I don't even manage the servers. I'm the desktop support. All right.
Deb's
if their computer dies, we'll just swap it out.
Just look at it.
Just not here. Just pretend like I'm gone already.
Like travel size, like little deodorant. Where can I get that? Anybody?
Yeah, where are those at? A little travel toothpaste. Yeah, just I'm gone.
I don't need a whole tube. It's too much.
It's only 4 days. Just need the small one.
Yeah. Do you guys think I need socks? You wear socks on a cruise? Anybody?
Yeah, they do have formal nights, so you gotta wear closed-toed shoes. So I have to.
What if you don't want to do the formal nights? Is there like you can pick up a plate at the kitchen or the porthole or something?
You can definitely go to the buffet. You can always go to the buffets, and that's fine. But the formal dinner is like that's where the really good shit is. Like they've got some really good food. So that's where I'm going.
I eat tater
I understand. You could wear a polo. Like you don't have to dress up. Like they say it's formal night, but it really just means you need.
Think tie, collar shirt, or a jacket.
Oh, there will definitely be lots of those people, but they're not turning you away. I will be in a polo and some jeans. They just want you to have pants, a shirt, and some shoes on. That's that's the requirement. That's what they mean by formal.
That's a stretch on the cruise for me.
Yeah, I could see that.
Vacation Dawn, it's a whole vibe. It's a whole mentality. Vacation
I
Dawn,
get it. I
and
get
I'm
it.
not one for pants or
I mean,
shoes when I'm
they're
on
not going to
Vacation
turn you
Dawn.
away. They're not
Yeah,
going to turn you away if you're in shorts. Like
I'm
you'll
definitely gonna be
you'll
like,
you'll be able to slide through. They might be like, we need you to put on some shoes.
can I
Like
just
you might
grab
not be
like
able
a
to walk up
plate
in
and
there in flip
leave? Like,
flops.
I'm only here for a short moment.
No, no,
Can't do that.
no. And the food is really good. And you can order everything on the menu, which is always fun to do. Like I want every entree. I want like everything because it's
That's
all
crazy.
inclusive. So if you want
They
everything on
can't
the
tell you
menu,
no
they
or
will
anything.
bring you. No,
The
you
people
can
do that.
like
They literally order
yes.
everything.
Yeah, so I've been on lots of cruises. My mom used to work for Princess Cruises. So almost every year for me and my wife's anniversary, we take a cruise. We also had a couple of buddies and that we would also cruise with. So we had a whole like cruise like team.
Yeah, you
So
guys are banana boat.
yeah, basically doing the banana boat thing. Yeah. So we took a 7-day cruise to Mexico. I'm trying to think, was it the Mexico one or the Caribbean one? Either one of the two. But I have a friend named Brian. And Brian can eat. Not even a big dude. Regular sized dude, but the man just is a bottomless pit. He would literally order like almost everything off the menu and additional things that weren't on the menu but you could get. Like he'd always get some pasta. So he'd have like a pasta primavera or whatnot, or just some fettuccine alfredo. He'd get a couple of the shrimp I forget what they call
Cocktail.
it. Cocktail shrimp, yeah. He'd get a couple of orders of those and then like everything else on the menu.
Wow.
Nobody, and it got to the point like by night 3, because you have the same waiters every night. By night 3, they just would bring the stuff out. Like he wouldn't even have to order it. They just knew exactly what he was going to get. So they'd already have the fettuccine alfredo. They'd have the shrimp cocktail waiting for
Does he
him.
do this all the time, or is this like a specific cruise thing? Is it
No,
because
this is who
because
he
it's
is.
inclusive? I'm going to get everything I can get out of this.
No, this is
Is it
who he
like a
is as a
value
person.
play, or is this just what he
No,
does?
this
He
is
goes to
he just
McDonald's and
he
orders
just
7
eats.
cheeseburgers.
He will
Wow.
if he's feeling it, he will eat that much. Like there's a restaurant that we used to go to in the marina when we used to go out there and go clubbing or whatnot. And if you can eat the entire deep dish pan pizza, they will put the pan with your name and everything like on the ceiling.
Sure.
So of course Brian's like, I got this.
Do that.
He eats the whole damn pizza by himself.
Yeah.
Like that's just who he is as a person. He can just eat a lot.
I get it. I mean, I get it. I'm
So
a big person, but I get it. I can do that same thing. I
yeah.
won the wings challenge at summer camp.
Okay.
Nobody could touch me there. So,
Yeah, I can definitely not eat. Like I can snack all day, but I'm not putting away any kind of meals like that. So it was always just interesting to watch him order everything. And we were like, okay, yeah, we'll take this, we'll take this. We want to share this, so we would just order. And they're like, yeah, we'll just bring everything out.
there's a way that you get as big as I am, as big as I've gotten. That definitely is. My wife used to. I was definitely like at the bottom. Like when you're an athlete, like in high school, when I was in training and stuff. My wife and her dad were like, dude, you were like a fucking force, like a tornado. Like
Yeah,
we always went to buffets because her dad was like, it's the only way I can afford to fucking feed this kid. Because like they used to say, my wife, I would do. She's like, you would always get a salad like first, like as an appetizer. She'd think you make a whole plate of salad. So like then you would go and actually get like a meal. It's like mashed potatoes and pork roast or steak or ribs or whatever, and she's like French fries. She's like, then you would get like a light meal. She like you get like some soup or something. Like then you'd have dessert. You have 4 or 5 plates. I'm like, damn, I don't do
Yeah.
that much anymore.
I remember that life.
anymore. But yeah,
Yep, definitely. I mean, in high school playing sports, oh my God, I was a bottomless pit and I was still rail thin. They were like, dude, you have a tapeworm because you eat
Yeah.
entirely too much to weigh what you weigh and you're always eating. I'm just like,
it catches up with you.
I don't know what to say. Like, I just give me the 40-piece McNugget. Like, I'm good. Let's just
I can't see. He's got the 56 wings. Dude, I love the 40-piece nugget, by the way. What
yeah,
a great thing for parents.
it's the
Especially
best.
with inflation. I've had to resort to the 40-piece McNugget a few times.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I don't have $100. Let's go out to eat tonight money, which is about what it costs to feed a family for almost
It's
anywhere.
insane. It's insane.
We've dropped
It's
$50 at like Taco Bell and Arby's. We're like, what the fuck? They're like, that'll be $56.85. Like, what?
Yeah, I went to
Who?
Jack in the Box the other day and got a meal and it was like $16. I was like,
Yeah.
what the hell is what? I ordered one thing. How is
Yeah.
it $16?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's insane.
So you get that. I'm not sure what it is. It might here. I think the 40 nugget is $10.99.
I don't
The
even know
40
what it is out
nuggets and
here.
2 fries for $10.99. So
That's
it's like,
not
all right,
terrible.
kids,
That's
I'll
good.
divvy that
Yeah.
up, and then me
Yeah.
and the wife will get a sandwich or something, and that's dinner. It's like $25.
That'll work. That'll do
That
it.
sounds like a steal at McDonald's. $25, where I used to be able to get dinner at McDonald's for like $9.
It's insane. Absolutely
really is.
insane.
It really
So yeah,
is.
I'm gonna eat my ass off on this cruise. I'm just going to eat as much
Should.
things as I can. All the desserts. I'm gonna have so much coffee. It's not even funny.
I don't
Very
think I'm
excited.
gonna get to do. I don't think I'm gonna get to go to the beach for my vacation. I want to do something, but I don't think it's in the cards for me.
It's unfortunate. Sorry, Danny.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go.
I'm not getting off the ship either. It's
I'll try
gonna
to get
stop
to a
in
movie.
Mazatlan. Do it.
I wanted to, but I wanted to do something. Like I wanted to go somewhere. I wanted to do something.
Well, there's always next time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll be gone for 4 days. Very excited to not get off the ship and just lounge and do absolutely nothing. Very excited. And then in June, it's me and my wife's 20-year anniversary. We're going to Cancun, an all inclusive resort. So again, I'm not going anywhere. Just get to sit there and say, "Bring me drinks," and just tip. Bring me drinks. Here's a tip. And I'm not bringing a Switch.
You should.
I've come to realize that because I've had handhelds. I've taken them with me whenever I go on vacations and stuff, and I never ever play them. I've come to realize that I'm just not that person. So the Switch will actually go probably be for my son, because he will need something to do at some point where he can't be in the kids club, or he's just like losing his mind. So we will take the Switch for him, but I'll have a book that I'll probably read like 4 chapters of, because I always think I'm going to read and I just never ever get around to it. But I will not be taking any video games. I'm good.
Yeah, I might get a massage.
There you go.
I might do that. Like, I want to do something. I might get a massage. I do like a full. I might send myself to a spa day while my wife's at work.
There you go.
Send her
There you
pictures.
go. Little pampering, little me day.
Yeah.
That's
I might have to do
nice.
something like that.
Absolutely. Video game wise, only thing I've done is spread democracy. Spread lots of democracy. Oh
How
yeah.
much democracy needs spreading?
Until there's
You
no
know
more
democracy at all?
bots left. No, there's still automatons. They have come back in full force. These bugs won't go away, so democracy still needs to be
You guys
spread.
are not very good at your job.
There's just a lot of them. Like, that's what it is. It's a lot of terminators, a lot of bugs. So we got a lot of democracy to spread. Me and the community, we're out here doing the Lord's work. We are spreading this democracy with managed efficiency. It's been really nice. Just jumping in with the fellas and just murdering the shit out of these terminators. They are some assholes, and they all deserve to die. All of them. So
I see you guys. I see you in the chats and the things. I don't even dare walk into that room anymore. Hell, if I even want to think about any PlayStation news, I'm like, no, it's just Helldivers now.
Yeah, so it is. We've become
anymore. They should just change the company to Helldivers.
They should. It'd
Why don't
be
they have special edition plates or a controller or something?
Maybe eventually. I just don't think that they thought that this was going to hit the way it did.
Right, but once it did, fucking get on it. Start merchandising, profit margin, make profits, revenue, expand the growth, grow the margins. PlayStation, get on with it.
Just let it be what it is. Let it be what it is.
Nobody. That's fucking. What would a controller do? Anything to stop it being what it is? That has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. Make some money.
It doesn't sound like managed democracy right here. That doesn't sound like it fits.
You need to raise funds for the war effort. Okay, beans and bullets, man. Shit ain't free.
We don't need funds. We need bodies. We don't need to. We have all the funds we need. We need bodies to just send.
Yeah,
we need bodies. That's it.
Call upon your console brethren.
There have been lots of talk about, look, we need our Xbox brothers in the fight. They're veterans of the Halo Wars. We need them in this fight. We said that. Like, it's real.
They've got experience taking out locusts, man. This is experts across the universe.
They absolutely are. We need our Xbox brethren to join this fight. Nintendo? Finish the fight.
Get the Spy
We don't.
Kids in it.
We don't need them.
You need the Squid Kids.
No, we
You can start
absolutely
laying
don't
some
need
paint.
them. See, no, they're gonna be running around acting all goofy and shit.
Drawing shit in Miiverse, doing dances.
Friendly fire is turned on. We're just gonna end up murdering them. We're gonna think they're part of the enemy. They're just a new enemy faction.
It's the Squid Kids.
Yeah, they're an extra enemy faction. We're murdering them.
The bugs and the Squid Kids. That'd be hilarious if they could you imagine they roll a Splatoon crossover? Here come all the Inklings. They're fucking splatting Helldiver planets and painting shit green and pink.
Murdered.
Could you actually imagine if somebody made that and you just murdered Squid Kids left and right?
I'd be happy for it. I'd be like, let's go.
If you shoot them, does paint come out of them?
They
have real blood, or it should be paint?
It should be paint. It should absolutely be paint. Because at the end of the matches, when you actually go back up to the ship, if you've killed enough stuff, you are covered in blood. You're covered in green goo and everything.
My dark mind just thinks
them, that'd be great.
Dead Squid Kids laying all over the ground and pink and blue and orange. You're like, oh.
It's like makes me think of that South Park episode with the Christmas critters.
Yeah. I was thinking of
but
the Starship Troopers when he blows up the thing and they're all covered in the goo.
Yep.
And he's shooting, he's and it's squirting all over his face. What if you reshot that as a Helldivers commercial, but for Squid Kids?
That'd be great. I'm here for that. That's the crossover I would allow.
That's hilarious. Oof.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm glad Rebecca's not here.
But yeah, that's all I've been up to. What has you have Game Mania here? What the hell does that mean?
Yeah, because I'm not playing anything. I'm just playing lots of things because I lost WrestleMania. It's been a weekend full of wrestling. It's been a week full of wrestling, really.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't been gaming on my PC. I haven't even had gaming sessions. What I've been doing is I've been sitting on the couch watching things with my Switch in my hands, just playing anything and everything that comes to mind. I played Spyro, I played Castlevania, I played Devil May Cry, just pulling out the hits, pulling out the favorites, and having a really enjoyable time playing Retro Bowl.
Nice.
Just playing whatever speaks to me in that session, that moment. Pulling out a lot of stuff. Played Hyrule Warriors, played a little Fire Emblem. I've been buying some games. I did purchase Unicorn Overlord. It's not here yet, but it went on sale.
Physical edition?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wanted a physical copy. It went on sale this week for $40. I really enjoyed the demo. It's an Atlas game. It's on all the consoles. It's been a pretty big hit on Switch. And I was thinking on Shaq, I was I really got to buy something. I got to buy a game. And actually, here I am on this podcast for weeks and weeks and weeks, talking about how bad Princess Peach was and not buying anything. I have no game to play until Paper Mario. And I was I should get something. And then I remembered, I was I should have bought Unicorn Overlord. And I would have if I could have used my voucher. I've got vouchers to spend, and Unicorn Overlord wasn't available to spend a voucher.
Really? Why?
Yeah. It's they only have a certain selection of games. It's mostly first party and first party and second party published games are voucher eligible. I do think sometimes they include third parties, but I might even be wrong on that. I do think it's mostly first party games. Yeah, there's only a selection. You can't just use the voucher on any game. It's got to be compatible, But once it went on sale, I was that's all the ammo I need to bite. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that.
Nice.
So I'm waiting for that to come. But in between then, I'm just, like I said, just cruising around, playing my F1 game, New Star. Just literally, I probably played 20 different games this week.
Wow.
All of them for a couple hours, just watching wrestling, hanging around. I've been taking it with me to work. So there's been a lot of, game time just sitting at the desk while I'm on my lunch break, doing something. Play Kirby. I do enjoy that Kirby game.
You got rid of your ally, right?
I wasn't even going to talk about it, but yeah, I sold it.
Nice. I'm in on Switch too. Give me the Switch. Get rid of this.
Yeah, I think that's also where I am. I'm not sure. I'm not going to promise that because I may get an ally too if it's awesome. But at the moment, right now, I think I'm in I have to at least see what Switch 2 is first before I make my next bet. I'm hesitant to have more than one.
Okay.
because I don't think I have enough time to spread across more than one.
Makes
Right?
sense.
I think if I'm like doing anything, if I have two, then I'm not doing either one of them as well as I could. Right?
Right.
I'm just like, jack of all trades, ain't master of none. And I don't think I want to do that. And also, we talked about this last week, so I don't have to regurgitate the whole thing, but my mood on the handheld PC thing has just kind of changed.
Yeah.
I do like it. I'm not throwing any stones at it at all. It's super fun. But more often than not, I found myself playing SteamWorld Dig, Katana Zero,
Yeah.
No More
Games you could
Heroes.
easily run on the Switch.
Right. And it's like, why even have all this if I bought it for this?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you're not going to play The Last of Us or Final Fantasy or, Red Dead or Helldiver. Like, I tried playing Helldivers in the Ally, and it was kind of atrocious.
Yeah.
Like, it
I
wasn't
forget
great.
who tried that. Somebody the community on there on that line was like, this doesn't work very well at all. Like,
Yeah, like, you can do it. I wouldn't recommend it, but it can be done. And yeah, I just don't like playing things like that. So if I'm not going to play things like that, I also played a bunch of completely free. I knew there was another game that I played a bunch of and I couldn't remember. Lego 2K Drive. Played a bunch of Lego
nice.
2K Drive. And yeah, if you're not going to play those PC releases that these systems are so often sold by, right? When you talk to people that buy one of these, like, why are you buying it? And it's like, I can play Call of Duty on a handheld, right? Or like insert whatever other big game you think is big
Right.
in here. Baldur's Gate 3 or whatever. I can play it on a handheld, right? If you're not going to play those games on there,
What's the point?
you might as well just have a Switch. Because my Switch can play, Unicorn Overlord every bit as good as the other thing can. My Switch can play, SteamWorld Dig as good as anything else can, and a lot of times better. Because even if it's not performance 1-to-1 better, a lot of times
it's optimized for the Switch.
It's more stable.
Mm-hmm.
It has more integrations. It's more comfortable. Like there are other things that go with it. It's less overhead. So yeah, I think I'm ultimately there. My PC handheld thing, I think, has come full circle. I am having a moment with my Switch again at the moment where I'm kind of just re-falling in love and just remembering like all these. Like I went into the eShop and just downloaded like everything that I bought. I was like, I'm just gonna download all these games here and see which ones like talk to me. Like I played The Tourist for a couple hours this week. I love that game. It's one of my favorite games on the Switch. It's gorgeous, beautiful, it runs amazing. It's a little indie game. And yeah, so it was that, but also as we have rumors that the Ally 2 is about to be announced.
Oh, really? Didn't realize.
I'm already witnessing the prices beginning to fall on Ally units that are out there. The eBay prices have come down. I got an alert today for like one of the used models at Best Buy. I think it was $400.
Oh wow!
Like it's starting to drop, and I don't want to end up like one of the folks with the Steam Deck LCDs when the OLED was announced. There's 100,000 of them out there. Yeah. You can't be able to get rid of it, right?
Don't want to end up like Chaffee.
Yeah, I typically like to stay ahead of things for this. Unless it's something like I'm going to keep forever. Like I never sold my 3DS because it's never going anywhere, ever.
Right.
Like my No More Heroes Switch that I had customized. I have no plans to ever get rid of it, so I could care less if it's worth $5. But with Ally, I ain't that like committed to it. If something better comes along, I'm happy to upgrade. So I didn't want to end up where, especially because mine was the one that didn't have like the SD card. Like remember the SD card didn't work?
Yeah,
so that's going to be a pain to sell, especially if somebody doesn't follow the news. They don't know how frequent that was, So I just put it up for eBay. I put in bold letters saying, okay, the SD card slot doesn't work, but that's why I upgraded the memory. This comes with an upgraded hard drive that you can, like an SSD. And it sold overnight. It sold instantly. Like it sold super fast.
That's crazy.
I asked Grouchy if he wanted it because I know he was like interested in getting his son one, getting a second one. And I would have made him like a sweet deal, but he was like, yeah, I don't think it's in the cards for me. I was like, okay. I just thought I'd offer before I went to eBay. And I was like, I'll put it on eBay. And that was probably around midnight when we talked. I woke up and it was gone.
Damn.
Like, oh, shit. That moved much faster than I thought. No, I priced it pretty aggressively, but I did well. I had $550 out of it.
That's not bad at all.
So my Switch is paid for.
Yeah.
Like I've got money to spend. I bought some new Joy-Con. to doll up my Switch a little bit today. I spent a little money on that. And I was like, let's do something a little nice here. But that is the plan. The plan is to just bank the money until
Wait for that Switch too.
wait for it to be announced, and then I don't have to worry about it. I can just walk in and pre-order it and games probably.
Yeah.
So
just lay it down. There it is.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice.
It's been fun. Fun wrestling week. Fun Mania week. Fun. Yeah, it's been pretty chill. Work, work is work. So
yeah.
It's starting to, getting busier and busier. But outside of that, I'm getting an award tomorrow.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah.
What's the award for? What you win?
I don't know. It's like an innovation. It's like a technology innovation award.
That's cool.
I don't know if we get anything or if it's like a certificate or a plaque or something. I don't know.
They better give you something.
I was told to appear in the atrium tomorrow at lunch, and I think there's like a photo op, and they do this. It's like an employee of the month thing. They do this like every 90 days or something like that. So I think my work for all the
you dress up.
I'm not going to. I think they want you to, but you know what I mean? I'm not going
I know.
to. Yeah, like that was the first thing that my phone, they're like, you can dress up? I was like, absolutely not. I absolutely am not. Not for this.
You know better.
So, yeah, I am wearing the Crocs. Watch me. And yeah, so I got that, but I also have like 4 meetings. So it's going to be like I've got like a 10, an 11. I got that at 12, and I have a 1 and like a 2:30. So tomorrow's going to suck, man. It'll be a full day.
That's been the beginning of my week. Today, yesterday, and Monday was just constant meetings. I've got nothing on the cards for tomorrow and Friday. Again, I'm checked out.
Yeah.
Not even here. I'm a ghost.
Yeah. So yeah, fun times.
All right. Well, let's mosey on into the news, sir.
Sure. So let's kick it off. Star Wars Outlaws got a story trailer dropped today. The game releases August 30th, which is way sooner than I would have ever.
Yeah. I was thinking November.
So that comes out in August. The Gold or Ultimate Edition will receive 3 days early access and a bunch of digital goods, and there's like a pass and all that. I think the Gold Edition, the Ultimate Edition, is like $130.
$120. Yeah, it's insane.
It is insane.
Why is there a pass? Why is there a freaking pass for this? What are you doing?
Come on, man. It's Ubisoft.
Stop it.
They have little skins you can wear and
just pay them $15 and get the game with all of that stuff for a month.
That's what I was planning on doing. So you said you were going to put it into Family Pass.
Yeah, but, you should probably still do that because you can only play one person at a time.
I don't understand the Ubisoft model for Ubisoft Plus. That one actually gets me. There's so many people very concerned about Game Pass and its profitability, and nobody asks if Ubisoft Plus is profitable at all.
I can't imagine that it is.
Why would anybody buy a Ubisoft game? I mean, on any console or PC, you can pay them $15 and get the gold version of any one of their games. The fact that it's the gold version even blows my mind. Like, bitch, make that the standard version of the game. They give you everything. They're like, here you go.
It's insane. It's like I'm either going to wait a couple of months for the game to be half off because that just what happens to Ubisoft games, or I could pay $15 and just have it for a month. And then maybe if I don't finish it, maybe another $15 down the road, and I'm still paying half the cost or less than I would for the actual game.
I think it's even better with the state that games are released in. Go in for the $15 up front and then decide if it's something you want to buy. As opposed to here's $70 and I hope it's good. Like that blows my mind that Ubisoft does this.
It is pretty crazy.
Maybe they just don't. Maybe there's just not a lot of it. Maybe there's not a lot of people subscribing, so it's not hurting their bottom line.
I don't think there are. Like, I can't imagine that there are. I don't know. I don't personally know anybody that's actually subscribed to it regularly. And I have friends who play a lot of Ubisoft games, and I tell them about Ubisoft Plus, and they're just like,
There's just not enough.
The games.
There's not enough content to warrant like an ongoing subscription.
Yeah.
It'd be like if Netflix had one new movie a year. You wouldn't subscribe all year.
Yeah.
You would eventually stop or pause. You pause the subscription for a moment.
It's not bad if you're like really into the back catalog and you really want to just be like, I'm going to play a bunch of Ubisoft games, but yeah, I can't even.
You can buy them
Can't
all for
even
like
imagine.
$2 most
That's the other
days.
thing, because they go
Like
on
every
sale like
one of them.
dirt cheap.
But that's the other thing. This isn't even a PC thing. This is on console. You can get UB Plus on console. All their games are always on sale on console all the time.
Yep.
All
Well,
the back catalog you can pick up
only
at a
on
GameStop
Xbox.
for quarters. Like, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
I don't get it. But yeah,
I don't
that's the
either.
plan. I haven't watched the story trailer. I haven't had time today.
Really? I thought you watched it
I
yesterday.
wanted to. I didn't have. No, you're right. I did watch it. The Fast and Furious thing, right?
Yeah, I was about to say.
I'm sorry.
You
I'm sorry. I meant the previews.
yeah,
Previews, like they're the hands-on thing. I haven't seen any of that.
Yeah, I posted one earlier. I read it. I was like, okay, yeah, that's cool.
Sound good?
I mean, it sounds like Han Solo the video game. Like it's Uncharted, but just in space.
That works.
Like that's what it sounds like.
You
It's
didn't
a
like
little
my
bit
Fast
more
and Furious
stealth
thing?
type stuff that I like. It doesn't feel like Fast and the Furious. Like I don't get that vibe. I just get.
You ever watch the Fast and Furious movie where Dom is like, I got to get the gang, and then it's like Hong Kong, Canada, Britain, like they fly around, and then now there's 5 of them, and you get together and let's plan out the heist. That's what that vibe. That's what that trailer gave. Like that was the vibe. It's like, oh, we're amassing a crew of expert criminals to go rob this person. Okay, it's Fast and Furious. I get it.
Yeah, I need to see gameplay. Like I got to see. Like, do I get an upgrade tree? Are there skills that I can unlock, or is it like Uncharted where I just
you're gonna do all the progression stuff. That's
Yeah,
how they
better
warrant their open areas. You know,
the previews say that it's not like that. It's like most areas are like more closed off, but it's dense. Like there's a lot of stuff in these areas, but it's way more linear than open.
Well, I expected that.
That's
I
what the
didn't
preview
expect
said.
this to be like open world, but like I did expect it to be like open zone. You know, you're gonna get like little cityscapes that you can navigate around and do stuff in and find stuff.
Yeah.
You know,
we'll see. I need gameplay preview. I need to see more because I don't know. I don't know yet.
Feels like a big game for the year. Definitely for Ubisoft.
Yeah.
Ubisoft's been quiet since Mirage. Did I miss something in there?
I mean, Prince of Persia.
That's right.
Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora.
That I forgot about. I completely I played that game. And completely erased it from my memory until just now.
Yeah, and you can't forget about the quadruple A game, Skull and Bones.
Oh, damn, you're right. So they have been releasing a lot of. Maybe that subscription is worth it. Look at them; they got a game a month.
Yeah, you got Valiant Hearts coming home. You've got Skull and Bones, Prince of Persia, Avatar, Assassin's Creed Mirage. You know,
so much.
Yeah,
it's good stuff.
Yeah,
I'm excited for this one.
Have you seen any of the chatter around people being upset at what the character looks like?
No.
Oh my god! I swear the internet is full of idiots. So people are mad because she's in a pinup model.
This is my thing for the year. This is like my New Year's resolution. We got to stop reacting to idiots on the internet.
I agree.
So like we got to stop bringing it up. We got to stop bringing it up.
Why are y'all talking about this?
We can't bring it on the podcast. We got to stop. I've told Rebecca the same thing. She was talking about Marjorie Taylor Greene. I was like, we got to stop.
Who? Why?
This is how we give them power. This is why they get attention. And the thing is, we all know this. But the thing is, what we've all realized is that the algorithms reward this polarity. Mm-hmm. They reward this, polarizing, severe takes on any side, positive or negative, right? So they get rewarded for this with attention that they're seeking. We got to stop.
It's ridiculous.
It's easy, and I understand the temptation. The temptation is so easy to be like, look at these idiots, and I don't think this way, right? But I think I'd like to get, and I am as guilty as anybody. I've done it as much as anybody else has. I'd like to get to a point where maybe our listeners just know that we don't think like that and we don't have to bring it up.
Yeah.
It's like, we don't have to do that. They're idiots. We're not going to do that. That's a dumb thing. Like, because that's what I think about often.
Never ceases to amaze me.
It's just like, that's a dumb thing. Why do we keep talking about dumb things so much? So she's not a pinup model, but isn't she though?
Like the character in game, they're like, why does she have an angular face? Why does she have a jawline? I'm just like, why do y'all care?
I thought I saw pictures of the actress that is like, isn't it a model?
Yeah, she's pretty, but
she's an actual model.
Yeah, and people are mad, just like Eve. People are mad that she's not
Eve is
gorgeous. I'm like, she's a goddamn scoundrel.
Then people
She
were
lives
mad that
in
Eve
the
was
backwater.
See, and this is the point.
Exactly.
This is the point that I just made.
Exactly.
It's like exactly right because it is like what was the other game that got that oh shit, it's a game I like.
Horizon. Her Aloy. People were mad at Aloy because she had.
I forgot about that. You're
because
right.
she had hair on her face.
No, I was thinking of Fable. When they showed the trailer for Fable, everybody was furious because the I think it's the main character. I don't even actually know if it's the main character. I think it is. The protagonist in the trailer wasn't. I honestly want to say she's not like super attractive. Not even like pinup model. She's just not even like, not even like kind of classical video game beauty. You know what I'm saying? Like not attractive.
There was a female in the Fable trailer. I just remember
sound right. I don't know the best way of. She's just like normal looking.
Yeah, she looks like a normal person, like a human.
Whereas I think Aloy is like attractive. Like she's very symmetrical. Like by the classic takes, a lot of people would find her attractive. Whereas the Fable character isn't that at all. She's almost like a frumpy character, which is like a Fable thing. It's kind of like a Fable thing. People were big mad about that too. And this is why I bring it up. We shouldn't talk about it because look at it. Eve is, I mean, there's a reason that game's going to sell. We all know it's going to sell off of, for a lot of people, not everybody, for a lot of people, it's going to sell off of TNA. People think she's outstandingly hot and they want to look at it. And then we have another game where the woman's not amazingly hot. And in both instances, guess what? People on the internet are angry about it. Which just goes to show you that
men are angry.
Well, again, it just goes to show you that it really doesn't matter.
It doesn't. There's no winning.
Matter on either side. Super attractive, not attractive. There's no happy ground. There's no middle ground. Somebody's always going to be angry.
They're mad because it's a female character. There's no winning.
Somebody's going to be angry.
Yeah.
Well, here's the other thing. If it was a lot of men, then people would be angry it wasn't a woman. We used to be there too.
Yeah.
So everybody's always going to be angry. I try to.
And every character looked like Cole. From Infamous.
True. Right. Exactly. You're right. We went through like a whole mini generation of that. It was like an era, the Cole era of video games. Correct. Yes. I've tried. I hope it's comes across. Maybe if you're hearing this now, because it has been like a concerted effort on my half. I've been trying to stop doing that. It's like my goal for the year. I'm not going to say I'm always going to do it, but I'm trying not to. The news is the news, as I always say. So if it becomes a big enough thing, like I think with Stellar Blade, it's definitely a part of that game's story. Whereas this, I don't think this is news. That's not news. That's just some people angry on
my
Twitter
feed
or Reddit
today.
It's
been everywhere for me. I'm like, God, I can't escape this. Like, why?
I felt the same way. If you've been wondering, we've talked about a little bit in Discord, not even a lot, which I'm actually proud of. But if you've been wondering why we never talked about like the Sweet Baby stuff, that's why. Because I don't really think that's news. You know what that is? It's a bunch of idiots on the internet. I'm not going to do that. We're not going to wade into those waters.
Nope.
We'll let other people do that. I'm not going to do that.
It's not what we're here for.
I'm excited for this game.
We are.
I'm excited for this game. I'm not even a Star Wars guy, but I've been excited about it since it was shown. What's the Star Wars movie, like the one-off with the girl and like her sister and stuff?
The girl and her sister,
right? Like they go to steal the plans. It's got that amazing actor in it. He was in Are
you talking about Rogue One?
Yeah, Rogue.
That's no sister. It's just
isn't it sisters?
No, it's the daughter of somebody who helped design. No, in Rogue One, what happens is it's the daughter of somebody who helped build the Death Star. She hid away for a long time until somebody was like, "We got to get her," and they go and they get the plans for the Death Star because her husband or not.
But doesn't somebody get left on the ship that's blowing up or something?
Well, like everybody dies.
Sacrifice. Well, somebody sacrifices themselves so the other person can like make it, right?
No,
like they all
stay and everybody on the planet died, and that's why they say a lot of so-and-sos lost their lives to get us these plans. Like they went, they got the plans, they beamed it off the planet, and then they destroyed the area, and everybody that was there died. Like everybody in Rogue One dies.
I don't remember that, but I remember the movie. What I remember from the movie mostly was its groundedness. It's like story of people. It's story of like Space Wars and not like the Force and Jedi mastering and training and all. Not that I'm against that. I'm not against that at all.
No, it was great. Rogue One
I've watched all the Star Wars. But I enjoyed that take, and I've always thought that like the Star Wars universe has billions of stories that could be told.
Yeah,
If
so
we
much
could
more
just
than
get
Jedi.
off of it. The political climate alone is huge. And it's like very kind of glossed over, not really talked about. Like we have the prequels,
You need to watch Andor.
Republic for a moment and everything, and they don't ever do anything like that. And when I see this game of like just a character,
that's what this game is.
Living a life and stuff, it's like I'm digging this game.
That's exactly what this game is. It takes place in between Empire and Jedi. It's when there's a lot of just unrest because you have the rebellion, and they're off in this outer rim planet. They're dealing with the outer rim to where the Empire doesn't have anywhere near as much influence, so they can just kind of run wild and do stuff because of everything else that's going on. But if you liked like the political stuff, Andor is really, really good for that because that's all it is. There's no Jedi, there's no Force, it's none of that. It's literally just like the people and like what happens on these planets when you're dealing with.
Is this like a new movie?
The outcome. It's a show. It's basically what leads up to Rogue One.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'll try it one day. Probably not, but maybe I'll file that in the back of my mind.
It's only like 10 episodes. It's not long.
Maybe on vacation.
There you go. But I think you
go to the beach.
There you go. And you can watch it on the beach if you got there. You can just watch it on your phone. It's an option. It's an option. But I think you would like that if you actually wanted to watch like serialized content. It's really good because again, it's dealing with like people in the universe of Star Wars and not dealing with all of the Force and all that. None of that is
Star
even
Wars movies like the main. It's just a superhero movie. It's a superhero arc, and I have kind of grown tired of that a little bit. And I like the
you might like Solo too.
The more nuanced stuff that it's got layers and complexity to it.
Yeah, Solo is the same way. Solo isn't dealing with the Force and Jedi and stuff like that. It's literally
we're
Solo story.
Star Wars just felt rehashed. It's like I think Star Wars went back to the well one too many times for me. It's just like a little bit too much. It's like the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of
big giant planet blowing up thing.
It's the same thing. Yeah. The second trilogy, like the first movie is the same thing.
The little rascal group of kids that like put a cart together out of nothing, somehow blow up this gigantic infrastructure thing. And it's like we've done that story like how many times? 3-4 times. It's like, oh my God, how many of this movie can y'all watch?
Episode 7 is literally episode 4 all over again. Like it's the exact same movie, like beat for beat. I'm like, I appreciate the fact that it feels like Star Wars. Like if you saw 4, 5, and 6, like it feels like that, but it's because it's like literally the exact same movie. And then the second one, it completely changes everything and erases everything. And then the third one, there's like no continuity. Like I could just get rid of the second trilogy altogether. Like it's just I can't stand it. I don't like it at all. Like
I was just like it should be building, it should be bigger. I don't know. I just wore out. I've had enough. I really liked Rogue because Rogue was different.
It's the episode 3 we deserved. Rogue One is the episode 3 we should have got. That's how I
feel like when you're at war, right? You've got the rebels, and you have what is it, the Federation or
the Empire?
The Empire, right? And you've got like there's just constant warring story, like Helldivers, where you're constantly taking and losing ground. Dude, you could have 10,000 movies in this universe. This universe is literally ever expansive.
Yep.
And it's like, but no, we're just gonna keep doing like this one very specific arc. It's like, I don't know. It's like somebody needs to zoom out, like think bigger.
The TV shows were a lot of that because it's not dealing with like the Mandalorian is not dealing with Star Wars and Jedi. It's dealing with the political climate of the Mandalorians and what they're dealing with on their planets. So it's not that.
We've had like Clone Wars and entire armies and
Clone Wars, Bad Batch, like all of that stuff is not dealing with Jedi.
Why don't we get more games like that?
People want to see Jedi because we get Battlefront.
And I say this as somebody who I played The Force Unleashed this week too. It was another game I played on my Switch for a little bit.
It's great. It's a great game.
It's a fun game. It's a fun game.
Just be the bad guy and really be the bad guy.
Blow shit up. Yeah. It's Cole with a lightsaber.
Yep, basically.
Same era from the Cole era video games. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, we could definitely I was so excited when they announced like the Star Wars 1313 that was supposed to be like the bounty hunter, the seedy underbelly. Like I was like, yes, I want that. I don't need to be a Jedi. I don't care.
See, like I could 100% see a cyberpunk game, like but a Star Wars game.
1000%.
Like you're in a big city and you can like be
Coruscant.
corrupt or like gamble or yeah, like 100% you can be a scoundrel. Maybe you're gonna like smuggle things, steal things, kill people, be a murderer. Like that totally makes sense. That'd be super fun.
Yep.
But no, it's like you have to be Luke Skywalker. like God damn it, stop!
You have to be a Jedi.
Nobody wants to buy. Stop it.
Yeah, but even the Battlefront 2 like storyline where you were playing as somebody from the Empire, like a stormtrooper on the Empire. I forgot what her name was, but like that was even cool. That.
I didn't play it, but Jack did. But
so the campaign, like you're not a Jedi, which is even cooler. Like I feel like there's just so many more stories you can tell in the Star Wars universe that don't have to be revolving around the Force and everything. So
nice.
Maybe we'll get there one day.
I look forward to it. I think if the year holds, and as I keep reiterating it, but this is what we do as we go on. I think this year is shaping up to be pretty cool. We're getting Outlaws. We are expected to get a Creed game. We are expecting to get Silent Hill. Is Metal Gear Solid 3 Remake on track? Do you think that comes out this year?
I have no idea. It's not on my radar in any way, shape, or form.
Okay. Well, it's on mine. We should get, a few other games. There'll be another Call of Duty game that comes out, of course. You've got to think PlayStation has at least one game, right? And we've got Hellblade and Avowed and Indiana Jones. Like this year, and I'm not saying it's better than last year, but again, as I use you guys as examples because when we talked about it, you guys weren't super, but I actually did that to take as like a thermometer. A lot of people felt that way coming in this year. A lot of people are like, this year's going to suck. I don't think this year's going to suck. I
never thought it would suck. There's not a whole lot that I'm looking forward to, but I don't think it sucks. I think there's plenty of good games coming out.
Maybe I'm wrong. I think that was like that was the common take at the beginning of the year. Was this year wasn't going to be very good.
You're starting out with bangers
outlets, around the outlets and stuff. Like if we're get Elden Ring DLC and we got Prince of Persia. It's pretty good. Better than
Last of Us Remastered, Helldivers 2, Final Fantasy
better
7
than most
Rebirth.
Years.
Yeah.
I think this year will be better than most years. Yeah, Final Fantasy was huge. And I think this will be better than most years. There was like some of those COVID years where we got some games, but I don't know. It was like 2021 or 2020 all super memorable to you. Like it felt like there was like a lull there from like right before the conference came out. I think this year's shaping up to be pretty nice.
Yeah, I got Hellblade coming. I got Destiny 2, and then Outlaws. And if Replaced ever gives me a release date, like those are the only things I have left on my my list.
Replaced, Stalker for me. I know you're not into that. Space Marine.
Yeah,
100% Space Marine 2. I feel like you should like Space Marine 2.
No, it's like
Gears,
like
Gears, and
they're too big and clunky. I don't want that.
Gotcha.
Like I don't like the big clunky bashy. Nah, I'm good. I'm more stealth. We want to move swift. Just not my type of combat.
And I've got my remasters, Shadows of the Dam, Lollipop, and stuff like that. Like I'm bracing for a year where I'm buying a lot of video games.
Yeah.
So I'm just generally kind of stoked for that.
I'm just living on Donny Pass. Like we'll see what he gets.
That works. Hey man, you can pay it forward. You can get Outlaws and I don't have to get it. That's a penny saved.
Yep, I'll be getting Outlaws. That's about it.
That helps me with my Shadows of the Dam remaster because I'm probably going to have to buy it twice. I'll probably do the same thing for Lollipop and NCAA. Damn. I have so many games. I'm buy multiple copies of the game.
It's madness.
I got to get a PC version and I need it on,
the Switch.
It comes on the Switch. Yeah, got to have it on Switch too, of course. Physical copy on the Switch. I feel like I'm not as in tune to the notes this week as I am weeks past. I wrote down Xbox emails. I know what it is, but I feel like I should have titled the story better. I just wrote down.
Yeah, I was very confused, and I was like, "What the hell is that?"
So Windows Central got a hold of emails internally from Xbox, and before they published the story, they got Xbox to confirm it. I think an employee sent them to them, where Sarah Bond was essentially just reiterating their commitment to Xbox and hardware. We talked a lot about hardware in the last couple weeks, so I thought it was important. So they were talking about new console development, future hardware. Again, they're still running with the greatest generational leap. Like the site's crazy that they're doing that internal emails. But the important part out of this was that it was revealed that Microsoft has put together a dedicated team to future-proof digital Xbox game libraries on varying hardware platforms for the future, to build up Xbox's strong history of backwards compatibility. So this is kind of a tandem rumor. One, they're building this now. Two, this is splintering into, I want to say, unconfirmed beliefs that more backwards compatible titles are coming. I don't see this, and as it was worded in the email, I didn't read it as we're working on increasing our backwards compatibility. I think the intent of it is we're putting a team together to make sure that if we go ARM or we stay on PC architecture or we go to NVIDIA or whatever we do, we want to have a strong commitment that all of these games are going to work and your library is going to go with you.
Yeah.
And I also think that signals, as we've talked about, a more third-party-ish leaning for that company and that publisher. They're trying to make sure that whatever they decide to do hardware-wise, which they are committed to making another console, but I think if they're putting a team like this together, they want to make sure that your library goes with you.
Yep.
If you go somewhere else, I think that was my read on this. Them putting together a team and having compatibility, and I'm assuming it's building APIs and compatibility layers and things like that, testing things. Maybe it's Steam OS stuff, like testing things in Proton and Linux and stuff like that. That's how I read this news. And there are other people that are like, they're bringing Singularity to the back of that.
Yeah. I didn't, the little bit of it that I read, it really felt like it was more about making sure that going forward, like we're not losing anything. The stuff that we have now continues to work now and 20 years in the future. You're just not losing access to that. It didn't seem like they were like, we're going to keep going back. No, we're moving forward. We're going to make sure that moving forward, no matter what Xbox does, you don't lose your library or access to it.
I get the sense that right now, based on the hardware and their statements and things, I think they're looking at Steam and they're thinking like, why aren't we Steam? And I think this is a part of that. I think they're like, why doesn't all of our stuff work on all of our different things? And I think they're maybe getting into that minutia, like Steam.
Yeah. Yeah.
And unlike, that, instead of like being beholden to an architecture and we're just going to stay here, I think they're like, no, we're not. We're going to make it work everywhere. We're Microsoft. We're going to figure it out. And I think that's what this team is doing.
Makes sense.
Yeah. There's lots of rumors. It's very, like speculation. There's lots of rumors that they're looking to do something ARM based.
I've seen a lot of that.
It was in their like leaked documents thing. Also, as I understand it, and I'm not the techie person, but the latest ARM things are apparently like very efficient and punching above their cost and weight. So there's like, I know that they're not the only ones. Like, it's not like a specific to Microsoft thing. There's a lot of folks that are looking at ARM. Like, isn't Apple doing ARM stuff now?
I have no idea.
I think they're doing stuff with ARM now. So I think this might be a part of that too. If they're looking to go to a different architecture, they're like, we need to make sure this shit works.
Yeah.
So that might be a part of this too. In Xbox news, last week after we released the show, we also got previews for Hellblade 2 on Ninja Theory. And unfortunately, most of the headlines focus squarely on the confirmed frame rate for consoles. The Hellblade 2 will be 30 frames per second. So,
get a PC.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
I don't think this is that big a deal. I think people are making a way too much of a deal out of it because I think we forget.
Don't say. Gamers are making
30 frames per second still works just fine, especially for games like Hellblade 2. Once you start playing it, you won't even notice it. You get used to 30 frames so fast, and for a game like that, it just works. It just works.
I have so many takes. I've got so many like I told you so takes that I don't even know if people want to hear. Probably not.
These consoles aren't what they're cracked up to be.
Well, part of that, yeah, but like, of course it's 30. We saw it. Like, it's pushing the visuals. What do you think it's going to be 60? Why? What evidence did you have to support that? Look at all of these games that are coming out for consoles. The thing that I thought of most is that, like, so many people have to wait for, like, Digital Foundry to explain it to them, and then they're like, see, it's only 30. When, like, Digital Foundry published an article, I want to say 3 years ago, maybe it wasn't that long. It was shortly after they launched, talking about the limitations of the CPU and how this generation we were going to have more 30 FPS games. That was the whole article. The whole article titled was "Expect More 30 FPS games on this console generation." And with every single release that's 30, people are shocked. Oh my God, how is this possible? Why are these consoles? And it's like, dude, you've been warned. You were warned way ahead of time. Like, is this news anymore? Like, of course it's 30. We know what these consoles are. There's no magic
Because these
button.
people don't read or go do any research. They just,
But
live on the
after
hot takes.
Gotham and what was the other ones? Was it Baldur's Gate? Or is that, I think that was at 30?
I want to say that one has a performance mode that runs at 60.
There's been several big marquee releases that have been locked at 30 over the while. Does it Final Fantasy has a performance mode, but like nobody likes it, right? That was the thing. It's a bad performance mode.
It's just, it's not great. It's gotten better.
Like played at 30,
but I think the problem is that like when you have so many of the PlayStation games that they come out and there's both. Like you get a performance mode and you have the high fidelity.
PlayStation's been doing it on that side.
You're not even giving us the option. You're just 30 frames. I think that's a lot of
the option is to play it on console or to play it on PC. That's the option. No, that's well said. Your point. But the thing that's lost on some people that I just don't know how much more I want to talk about it. Like I get this way when we talk about similar stories I just get tired of talking. Like, look, man, we've been here. We've done this. I want to keep rehashing the same thing. You can make any game be 60 if you develop it to be 60. That's the problem. It's the game design. It's not necessarily what it's doing. It's they sat down and they said, what do we want to do? And for the story of Hellblade 2 is they said, we want to make an Unreal Engine 5 game that pushes the latest bleeding edge technology on graphics. We want to use Lumen and Nanite and all that shit. And guess what? All that new shit has heavy performance costs. Correct. I could have told you then, and I'm sure if I wanted to dig up old episodes, I'm sure we did. Like, I was never shocked that Hellblade wouldn't be. If you had told me when this thing was launched, Hellblade to be at 30, I would have been like, yeah, it's probably right. Because it's probably going to be the most gorgeous game you've ever seen. To that point, right? It's going to be absolutely stunning to look at. Packed full of visual details you probably won't even notice. And of course it's probably going to run at 30 because of that. And
especially on these consoles.
Right. That's what it doesn't mean that games can't run at 60. You can. Doom runs at 60. You have to build a game set around 60. Like I would expect, for example, which we'll talk about later, I think. Yeah. I expect Gears will be at 60. And it's not because the Coalition is twice as good as Ninja Theory. It's because they know that Gears has to be at 60. So they build it with 60 as that's the target in mind. We have to make a game that runs at 60 frames or nobody's going to like it.
Yep. Take whatever concessions you have to take to make sure that the game design and the game philosophy of it running at 60 does that.
Tracing and all the shit in there because it's not going to run at 60. So you don't do it.
Correct.
That's how this works. And there are exceptions, of course. Like you'd have a very CPU bound game with lots of geometry, lots of functions, lots of processing. I don't think Hellblade's that. This is just a matter of fidelity over performance.
We're creating a showcase.
Yeah, it's
a visual showcase.
Experience. We want to wow your eyes. That's what Hellblade is. And your mind. It's an emotional story. It's a slow game. It's a very deliberate slow game. 30 doesn't bother me at all. And I am somebody who constantly rags about people and performance, but I'm expecting. Well, one, I don't have this issue because my PC's gonna play great, so it doesn't bother me on that front. But two, if I did have to play it on console, I'm sure it plays great on console. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yep, it's gonna play great. It's gonna look great. It'll probably be a completely stable 30 frames per second. And once you get into the game, you won't even notice it.
It's a slow game. That's just fast moving.
Yeah, you don't need quick twitch response. You don't need any of that stuff for a game like this. Yeah, you're not worried about super lightning small parry windows or anything like that. Like you don't need that. It'll be fine at 30, and when you get into it, you won't even notice.
I did see on the Hellblade Reddit that I think they said Digital Foundry counted pixels, and it's like might be 1440 on console. So I'm sure
That
somebody would be
makes
upset
sense
about
too.
that.
That doesn't surprise me.
The thing that bothers me, and this is my sandbox, this has happened the last time Hellblade got talked about. This is what bothers me. I want to say that this is a communication issue. At least in hindsight, I think it's a communication issue. Hindsight's 2020, so maybe they couldn't have foreseen this. But part of me wishes I was in a room somewhere. I was like, hey, let's get all this news that nobody's going to like out of the way. Right? So you know what? Before we show the game and talk about how amazingly beautiful it works, how about let's tell them in advance of that? Let's tell them it's a digital only release. Let's tell them it's $50, and let's tell them it's not going to run at 60. Let's just do it all at once. Let the internet hate us for a day, and then let's hit them with the trailer, and then let's hit them with the story trailer, and let's win them back. The fact that they did their first trailer, and before anybody watched the trailer or thought about it or gave it any sort of like actual thought of how good does this look, how much do I like this product, they hated it because it was digital only, because it's not a full price game. They're arguing about semantics, and then here they come back. This is their chance to clap back and maybe win over some doubters. And it's amazing to me that a game this hyped has this, like, at this point, I'm not expecting this game to do anything, because it didn't seem like there's a lot of people out there excited for it. I know there are, but the conversation around this game is almost completely negative. And here they are, their chance to win some of that back. And now is when we find out it's 30 FPS only, which I knew, but this is when the masses find out. And it's like they're taking one step forward and they're taking 4 steps back. It's like, stop giving them the opportunity. Just get all the shit out of the way. Just put it all up front before you ever show them the game. Talk about all the bad things nobody's going to like about it. Then win them back. Then show them, but here's how awesome it looks. Isn't this awesome looking?
I think this is going to be like a Hogwarts game where nothing but negative talk around it, and it's the biggest selling game of the year. I think Hellblade is going to be the same thing, because all the people who are here for Hellblade and really are excited for it, they're not joining this discussion because they don't give a shit. It's like, let all the people talk. Let all the talk happen. I'm here for Hellblade when it comes. I've been waiting for it since the announce. Yeah. Who cares? I've been waiting for it since the announce. Who cares?
I don't want a preview. I don't want to know anything.
I think that's one of the things we have to realize is that a lot of the negative talk on the internet is people who aren't even going to play the game, aren't that interested anyway, and they're just looking for talking points. And the people who really want to play the game are just excited that the game is coming out, like it finally has a goddamn release date. Yeah.
It's my most anticipated game of the year, and I don't want a preview. I don't want anything. I have barely watched any of the coverage. I put this in there because it happened. It was news. Yeah. And I wanted to bring it up, but that's it. I didn't even read the article. I was just like, well, that sucks. Not for me.
Sorry, console players, but you won't notice it once you start playing. Trust me, you won't even realize it.
Great. It looked. Remember that first unveiling that we saw at the Xbox Direct? I mean, it's
behind you.
Stunning. It looks so good. I cannot wait. Yeah. Like, it's a big reason. Awesome. A big reason. I know you remember this. Our listeners maybe don't. It's a big reason I upgraded my PC. Was this game? And I was like, no. I want to turn it up a bit.
Crank it up. Make sure I can run this fully. Like, I gotta unlock it. Yeah.
Let's do the whole damn thing. So I'm very excited. It'll be the best 5 hours of my life. We had the III Initiative Showcase today, which unveiled a ton of games. I wrote down some notes. Again, I didn't watch them all. I saw some of the trailers. I definitely didn't watch the showcase. So I definitely don't have every game that was announced here. It's just some highlights and the big one.
What the hell is III?
It's an indie publisher, publishing label.
I saw you put on like, who? What?
Yeah, no, it is. That's fair. It's growing. It's growing.
Okay.
They've published a lot of things that people play. I just don't think, their success is bigger than their name. Maybe the best way of putting that. Let's see here. I'm going to look it up real quick. So the III Initiative. Can I find their website? Not the easiest website to find. There's a lot of III things, like insurances and orgs and like
FBI.
Not the easiest thing to find, actually. You may not realize. Let's see here. I'm gonna find there. It's triple-i-initiative.com is the website. And right now they have a splash page up for just the showcase today. So of course this doesn't help me either. Damn it. Come on, guys. I'm trying to do you a favor on our podcast. I would love to just find the list of games that they publish.
Press kit. Yeah, I can't find that. Like none of it is that.
Yeah, it's just a press kit for the showcase today.
That's
but
not
just
helping
know
us at all.
They publish a lot of games that people do like and play. Popular games, popular indie games. Like I think of them, like their games are probably on the same level or maybe better than Devolver.
Okay.
Right? So like their games stand out more than their name. Devolver does a better job of making games feel like Devolver games, but they do a lot of great games that people really like on the indie space. So, okay, back to the thing. Slay the Spire 2 got unveiled. That's a big game for a lot of people. People love Slay the Spire. They announced the Rogue Prince of Persia, which was leaking all over the place and ahead of this event. This is from Evil Empire, the developers that make Dead Cells. They're essentially making Dead Cells, but with a Prince of Persia aesthetic on it. It's a reskinned Prince of Persia Dead Cells game. It's coming to early access on PC May 14th. So if you're into Dead Cells and that style of game, get excited.
I like the way the combat looks, but I'm like, I'm not playing a roguelike. I'm not doing it.
But if you're into that, this is a big game. Like if you're into that stuff, you like Hades and Dead Cells and shit, you gotta think like this is like their death's door. Like this is that game. Like this is a big game for them. That's a big announcement. Vampire Survivors. This is actually kind of dope, and I'm upset that Delvin isn't here. Vampire Survivors is getting Contra DLC called Operation Guns, and the trailer looked fucking awesome. They had side-scrolling enemies coming from all different angles. You can upgrade shooting all around you, doing tanks. I was like, yes, this Contra game looks good. Looks incredible. Maybe my run of Vampire Survivor clones with other games that I like will continue. I loved Geometry Survivor, and maybe Contra DLC will get me. I'm definitely playing this. I thought it looked great. They also announced that Vampire Survivors is coming to PlayStation this summer. I had no idea it wasn't on PlayStation. I thought Vampire Survivors was literally on everything. I thought it was like on toasters now. I thought it was like everywhere. Like I thought it was
Skyrim just everywhere.
Yeah, it's like on every indie handheld. You know, it's on the Play Night. Like it's on the Atari. I thought literally that game was everywhere. Isn't it like super? It's like super small. It's like a super lightweight game.
Yeah, every time I've seen it, I'm like, what the hell is this? Like, nothing about it makes me even want to venture down that road.
It's addictive. It's fun. But I wasn't into the Vampire Survivors aesthetic. Now you change the aesthetic into something I like, suddenly I loved it, right? I loved Geometry Survivors, couldn't put it down. Devon Johnson says, is Contra making a comeback? What?
It's Devon.
Devon? Sorry. Well, he's got the capital V. Is Devon.
No, it's just Devon.
My bad, man. I tried. Not if you played the Switch game. The Contra Operation Galaga was trash. Wasn't good. And I say that firmly because I said it was trash, and then Delvin went and played it. He also came back and agreed with me. It was bad. It's not very good. V Rising, which is a game I've never played, is getting a Castlevania crossover. And that was one I wanted to look up because I was like, is I going to like this game? I don't like, I vaguely know of V Rising, but like I really don't know about it. I've never played it. I just know that it's a thing. Do you know anything about V Rising?
No, I don't know anything about any of these games on this list. These are not the games that I'm looking for. So
V Rising is let's see here. Awaken as a vampire, hunt for blood in nearby settlements to regain your strength and evade the scorching sun to survive. It's a early access survival open world base building game according to its Steam tags.
Yeah, nothing about that sounds. No, thank you.
I saw the Castlevania stuff and I was like, yeah, I could use a Castlevania like Diablo. Like, I don't know if that's what this is, but that's what it kind of looked like. It's kind of what I was thinking. That sounds dope. It sounds fun. I'm watching people play it on Steam right now. People are playing it. Shit looks good. I might try it. Anybody in
I
the
believe
chat
you.
gonna?
Now, Captain Awesome. Now that's the question I want to know. Where the hell is Metal Slug Tactics? That's the
So
real
I brought
question.
this up on Shaq this very week on Sunday. We got a question about asking us like, what game has gone quiet? What's a game that went silent you haven't heard from in years? And that was exactly my answer. It's like, where the hell did this game go? It was announced like 3 or 4 years ago. We've been waiting on this game for like, why isn't it out yet?
Yeah.
It didn't
Doesn't seem
seem
like
like
it would
that
be
big of a
something
project.
big. Yeah.
What is happening? I don't know, but I would love that to happen as well. 33 Immortals closed beta is coming in May. It's a game I'm definitely going to play. I don't know if I'm going to get into the beta. I'm definitely going to play it. Shadow of Doubt is coming to consoles this year. I don't really care. Pal World is getting player versus player Pal Arenas.
So Pokemon battles?
Yeah. Tachia comes to Switch June 27th. It's like the last place it comes to. That's an interesting release strategy. We're gonna make an indie game and put it on Switch last. We'll see if it's a bold strategy, Cotton.
See if it pans out.
Streets of Rogue 2 early access is coming later this year. Cat Quest 3 got a new trailer. My Time at Sandrock is getting crossplay. You know, the What the Golf people, they're making a game called What the Car. It comes out in September, and there's a demo available now. I'll probably try it. I didn't really like
What the hell is
Golf.
What the Car? What?
Have you seen What the Golf?
Nope.
It's like a physics-based nonsense silly game.
Okay.
Like What the Golf was like, you're gonna do golf, like putt, like little mini golf, but like you might be hitting a spaceship into the hole using a chicken or something. Like it's just kind of nonsense.
It's
just like funny. You know, it's just silliness. Video game silliness. We could use more of that in video games, to be honest with you. Like I don't hate it, but I also didn't like
that for Helldivers.
I'm a purist, you know, when it comes to golf games. I don't play golf.
Yeah.
I put this there for you. I haven't got to see the whole trailer yet, but I did like this. Arcade GK or Rakugaki is coming to Steam. Put that in your little wizard and look that up and see if that's something that might be up for you, because that looked pretty cool. It's like I dare say platforming. It's like a graffiti game. Like you go around, you know, marking up the city and stuff. I was like, this is kind of cool.
Let's see. Yeah, I saw the artwork for it and it looked cool.
Yeah, it does have a cool look at least.
This looks like a show I'd rather watch on Netflix than actually play. I don't want to play a tagging simulator. No, thank you. Like I'm not trying to reinvent Mark Echo's Getting Up, but the art style looks dope. Yeah,
got that bomb rush cyberpunk thing going on. Little cyberpunkiness in there. Like I kind of dig it. It's going on the wish list, Dev. Wish list.
All right, there you go.
Excited. Let me get that one. And usually when I buy a game strictly based off the cover, it usually goes poorly for me. This doesn't usually go well. You remember that game?
It's a bold tactic, Cotton.
Remember that roller? It was like Roller Dome, Roller Blade. I was like infatuated with that game when I saw it. I was like, oh my God, it's Tony Hawk with guns. And then I got it and it was that. And I was like, I hate this. I don't actually want this. I thought I wanted it, but I didn't. I don't want this.
No.
Speaking of crazy, you know, art style games, like, where's that gory, the fucking
I was just gonna ask you about that when you were talking about the unicorn underlord, whatever it was. I was like, where's the skateboarding cat with the blades? Whatever happened to that?
Yeah, we got to get that too. Got to put that on the to-do list. There were other games that were announced: Gestalt, Dino Lords, Kill Knight, Never Alone 2, Cataclysmo. Those were like my highlights of the new ones. I played Never Alone. It was okay. I don't like love it or hate it. It was good. I don't think I would like buy the sequel day one, but if it came to Game Pass, something I would. Cataclysmo, though, kind of interested in. Kind of like an RTS strategy base building game, like with some adventure and some story. I was like, that's kind of neat. I also thought Kill Knight looked kind of cool. So there's some other games you guys can look up. Lots of indie games getting published or getting, you know, announced today, and that's good. Fills in the gaps.
Dino Lords looks kind of funny.
Yeah,
it reminds me of that game.
I expected Delvin would latch onto that.
Yeah, let's just put dinos in medieval times and see how that goes.
Like that other game, that damn Dynasty Warriors game, where you're like a car and you can show up with a shotgun.
Exactly.
Like I need that too.
Like, this looks like that, but with dinos.
So many games. That's why I had to sell the Ally. I need more money, buy more games. Larian's publishing director, Michael Dowse. I don't know how to pronounce the last name. I think it's Dowse.
That sounds about right.
He had an interview and he shared some thoughts on the industry. And because we've covered so many of these industry trends, I thought this was valuable to add to the conversation. He calls layoffs avoidable and points out that nobody is going bankrupt in the gaming business, stating that his belief is that some companies are making mass layoffs because everyone else is. You remember I brought that up a few weeks ago. Like I was wondering like how much monkey see, monkey do is like people took the hit for this, so now everybody else is like, we can kind of do it and nobody will really, push us too much on it.
Right.
And then here's a quote. The layoffs are an avoidable fuck up, Dow said. That's all they really are. That's why you see one after the other, because these companies are going, well, finally, now we can too. We've waited to do it for ages. Everyone else is doing it, so why don't we? And that's really kind of sick. He also goes on to quote, creating the games that we wanted to make going public might give us more money, but it would be antithetical to the quality part of what we are trying to do. So it wouldn't make our games better. It would just make them more rushed. When talking to how Larian does it differently, right? Why isn't Larian facing all these same things? And his point was, we're not beholden to the shareholders. We're not chasing revenue growth. We're making the product that we want to make. We're making it to our quality standard, and then we're releasing it, and we're trying to make money off of it. Go figure, right?
Yeah. Like, this is exactly how I've always thought about this. Like, this doesn't make any sense. Like, if we just make the games that we're supposed to be making and not just bringing a bunch of people, like the COVID thing. Oh, everybody's playing games. Let's just go ahead and get a bunch of people in, and we got to lay them off later when we're not making the bottom line, or we're not being as profitable. But like you said, nobody's going bankrupt.
No.
Like, these companies are having record profit, like record everything,
record quarters. Yep.
Yeah. So why are you laying off all these people? It just doesn't make sense.
Protecting that momentum as long as they can. Based on the trends, it's going to catch up to us. We're like, if the trend keeps holding, unless somebody blows us away with something, if the trends keep holding, we're going to reach a quarter where they actually take a loss.
Yeah.
Maybe like the first quarter in like 20 quarters they take a loss, but it looks like it's coming, unless they slash enough of it that they keep waiting it off. But you can only keep doing that for so long, because if you keep slashing human resources, that'll catch up to you too, because then you'll fall behind development wise.
Yeah.
So you're just robbing Peter to pay Paul at that point. You're just kicking the can down the road and potentially making it worse.
True. But I also think he makes a good point that, like, this is part of the reason why they're not a publicly traded company, so they don't have to deal with a lot of that stuff. Like, they can make the things that they want to.
He clearly did say, it's not my, like, if they could go public.
Yeah.
But until they are, he thinks that's the big differentiator between them and everybody else.
I honestly agree. I think that's the thing. They don't have to be beholden to shareholders or anybody else. Like, they really write their own destiny. And as long as you can continue to, like, make sure that you're doing things that make sense for your company, and you don't have to worry about going public and being beholden to anybody's profit levels, then this is probably the better way to make games if you can continue to do that.
Yeah, I agree. We got PlayStation non-essentials for April. So if you're in one of the non-essential tiers, you can get Dave the Diver, Tales of Kinzera Zal, which we talked about, Animal Well, Oddballers, Construction Simulator, The Crew 2, Raji, it's a fun platformer, the Lego Ninjago movie, Nower, Play With Your Food, whatever that is, Deliver Us, Mars, Lego Marvel's Avengers, Miasma Chronicles, and Stray Blade. And then if you're on the non-essential tiers, you will also get the Alone in the Dark PS1 game, Star Wars Rebel Assault 2 from PlayStation 1, and then the original Medieval, the PlayStation 1 version of Medieval, which we just talked about on the show last week.
We sure did.
So
that's in the premium tier. The premium.
Yeah, that's the most money. If you give them the most money,
you get these PS1 games.
You're rewarded with your commitment with PlayStation 1's Medieval. It feels cruel.
It does.
Doesn't feel right.
It just feels evil. Oh, you're willing to give us all your money? Here are these PS1 games. Here's.
I'm telling you, I told this to Sean. This whole thing to me feels backwards.
Yes,
I
I
feel like you're
agree.
$20 a month, you should get Medieval. Like,
Uh-huh.
here's Medieval, fuckers. You can play that until you want to give us some more money.
Yeah, I do not understand how the premium, the
Don't
most
get it.
expensive tier, gets you PS1 games and demos.
Yeah.
Like, why? Just
And it's a
nonsense.
big jump too. Because the one's like, was it what was it, $60 a year still? Is that like the
I
year?
think is it 60 or 70? I think it went up to 70.
And then the other tier, like the middle tier, is like 100, right? And
And
that's
then
you
the
get
other was
all the
120.
games. You're getting
Mm-hmm.
20 games every month and all this jazz. That's a good one. Then this one is like $200. It's like a huge jump. And then like
I don't think it's that much.
$180 or something like that.
No.
I thought it
I
was
don't think
like
it's that much.
179 or something like that.
Mm-mm.
Uh-oh. I'm
I
going to
don't think
stand
it's that
corrected here. I'm getting
expensive.
corrected.
Let's see.
Serve me.
I don't want from
Fix the
70.
narrative.
Yeah, it's
I don't even know what it's
160.
called.
160
See?
a year.
That's a
Extra
lot.
is extras 135 and essential is 80. Damn.
See?
$80 for the essential.
You're literally giving you're
135.
spotting them what, 40, $45 and you're getting Medieval
Yeah,
in
doesn't make any
demos.
sense. Yeah.
Demos.
Extra is the word is the way to go. Premium, you get you get the classics catalog. That's what the PS1 games are. Game
Yeah.
trials and also the PS5 cloud streaming. So
Oh,
you
yeah, I
can
guess you get the streaming. So there's
you get
something.
the streaming and then also the
Again,
Sony Pictures catalog. So you get
I'm
movies,
telling
but I
you,
still don't feel like it's
just
worth it.
take the top and move just move it down. Right? Just reorganize. Like I want to like it's like somebody had a chart and they fell down and the pieces went over and they just tried to put it back. It's like I need to get in there and correct it. It's like no, wait a minute. You got these out of alignment. I don't think you guys did you didn't do the pyramid correctly. Pyramid's upside down, guys.
Yeah. I just ugh. Yeah.
Oh, I
Extra
can't
gets
believe
you the
says UB Plus or PlayStation Plus. Probably still PlayStation Plus. The extra tier is really good.
yeah, and the extra tier gives you the Ubisoft Plus classics. So not the
True.
full everything, it gives you the classics or whatnot.
Better than Medieval. I mean, we just read off like 30 games, right? We get Tales of Kinzera. That's day one game.
Day one, yeah. That it
The Crew,
David Diver.
Raji, and Lego Avengers, and like these are good games. And
Yeah,
they
the
have
game catalog isn't bad.
Yeah, they have 10 or 15 of these every month.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's nice. The Fallout TV series premiered today on Amazon Prime.
Apparently it's really good.
Yeah.
Like really, really good. I've seen a lot of people
I
say that it's
expected
better
it
than
to be.
Last of Us. I was like, oh wow, that's some seriously high praise.
That is some high praise.
And I've seen a lot of that. I'm shocked.
Wow. Maybe I'll watch it one day. Probably not, but maybe.
You're not. It's
Probably
okay. Let's just be real. You're not gonna watch it.
Apple's opening up to emulators on iOS. There's fine print that the emulators are like legal. So there's lots of people concerned about like what does that mean and how they police it.
How does an emulator legal? Like how does that work?
There were people saying that like that was going to stop people from doing it, but it didn't. I saw an emulator hit iOS yesterday. So like people are doing it. Like they're trying to bring, Game Boy and stuff to it. Like I'm actually kind of interested in knowing what can my phone do emulation wise. I've never thought about it. Like it's a decent chip. It could run pretty decent games. Can it play PlayStation 2 games? If it could, that might wreck like the little indie retro handheld scene. That might destroy the whole damn business. Because everybody that's buying one of those has a phone, and probably an iPhone in their pocket.
Yeah.
I'm kind of interested in seeing where it goes.
Yeah, I've always wondered how that's supposed to work. Because technically, okay, cool. So the emulator's legal,
Right.
but the games.
So there was some fine print in the article I was reading that seemed to, at least this person's take on it, they seemed to allude that they thought like your emulator could only have like developer provided ROMs like in the emulator, like in the game, like it had to have like
Because I was saying, where do you get the ROMs from? Where are you getting the ROMs?
Right. But the question is like, what if you sideloan it privately?
Can you do that on Apple?
Responsibility? I don't know. I don't think so. I know people do it. You've got to jailbreak it and stuff.
You got to jailbreak it, right?
Right. So that's where the question comes from. Like, how does this work? I don't know yet. I haven't seen it.
It's weird.
I don't think anybody has actually done it yet outside of the dev space, but it should be coming soon. I'm sure it won't take long. People figure it out. Xbox has rolled out updates to its apps, specifically its PC app, which has brand new hub pages for games. The return of the capture page. So if you're taking captures on PC or anything like that, you want to go to like the captures in the Xbox game bar or anything. It'll just be built into the Xbox PC app. You click on the game. Here's all the recordings and pictures you took, kind of like Steam. And as I was reading this and writing it down, this is like an example of what I meant when I usually talk about Epic Game Store and its launcher compared to everybody else's. Like its launcher doesn't have any support for like literally anything but launching the game.
Yep.
Like their whole launcher is you can launch the game.
Yep.
There's nothing for like really, and I'm sure I might be even mistaken, but there doesn't seem like there's a lot of space there for achievements, captures, friends, like none of they don't do any of that.
There's a friend thing, but
is there?
It has not. Yeah.
Does it do voice chat or anything?
No, not at all. It's just a friends list.
So you just see it. Okay.
Yeah. I don't think there's any voice chat, but I've never played anything on Epic that
that's my
requires
issue
that.
with them is like they're so intent on spending all this money and getting exclusives and giving away games for free and giving publishers 100% returns, but they don't seemingly want to upgrade their experience at all. Like that Epic Game Store has been the same forever. It hasn't really changed at all.
There's plenty of other things to do that, so use those. Just buy the games here.
That's weird.
I don't think it's that weird at all. It's like, why do I need to
take market share, but you're not really
incentivizing. Why do I gotta invent the wheel?
Use it.
Why do I gotta reinvent the wheel? Like I just want you to buy the games here and they launch here.
You've already got somebody that has a much better wheel.
You've already got stuff on your system that does all that.
Right, but like that's the thing is like
I just integrate.
Want to be the store for the thing. It's like, well, then make your store as good as the other one.
They really don't want to be the store. They're like, we have even Fortnite. Buy your games here.
Store, right? Like in Steam, you've got all the curated pages, you've got all the tags, you've got all the stuff. You have none of that on. Like, there's literally nothing. It's just here tiles of games.
We just are the exact opposite because I cannot stand the Steam store. It's just too much shit. It's too much. I like Epic because it's simple. I just want to
quantity of options.
Yes, quantity of options. The amount of stuff that when I open up Steam and the amount of shit that is on the screen. I'm just like, no, I don't. I go away. All of that. I don't want any of that. I just want to search for the game that I want to buy. That's it.
Okay. Well, yeah, Epic's got you covered.
That's why I have no problem with the Epic Store.
When you open up a game store, you don't want to see anything. You just want to be like Google. Like, here's a search bar.
Yeah.
In the middle of the page.
Honestly, because I don't need it. I know what I'm a man shopper. I know exactly what I want. I'm going directly to that thing. I'm getting it, and I'm going to the counter.
But you obviously know the downside of that is they don't have the opportunity to even try to convince you to buy anything else.
I don't want them to.
But that's why you got to have the landing page. You got to have the window.
No,
the window.
Go away. Stop.
You got to have the window.
Stop.
You got to walk. You got to walk by the window on your way to get something because we have the opportunity to see if you want to pick something outside.
No, I'm good.
Well, I like Steam a lot for their customer experience. From the library, managing your library, maintaining your profile, all the little gadgets and gizmos that they have in there. And Epic just doesn't do anything of the sort.
We don't do that here.
And sell Steam keys. Just sell me a Steam key then.
Well,
and I'll just buy Steam keys from you.
They don't do that because like your Epic account is also tied into any games that you have on Epic. It makes sense. It works. My library, I really like the look of the Epic Store. It's
come on. I feel like
much simpler.
Like you're gaslighting me.
No, I'm not, because again, you think about this. You and I completely differ on like the PlayStation and the Xbox. Look, you like all of that UI stuff, and I can't stand any of it. I like the super simplicity. Like I love the Epic Store. There's not a bunch of stuff on there.
Simple.
It's not that it's simple, but it's you don't. For me, it's perfect. I don't need themes. I don't need none of that. Here's the games that I'm playing. That's it.
Icons for the theme changes. You have themes.
Yeah, I don't need any other themes. I don't even see those because I'm just launching the game that I'm already playing.
Right.
But for me, the Epic Store is simple because there's not a bunch of stuff. Honestly, that's all I really need.
EXE. Link, click.
Not even that. Just put the icon on the desktop, and I'm going to double click that, and that's where I'm going.
It. Like, just give you a little mouse.
With the Steam, when I play games on PC.
You know what I'm going to say about that is, right? That's the Wii U. The Wii U and the Wii was that. It's just here's the icon. Click on them.
I had no problem with theirs,
I thought those
this
UIs
is
were
great.
peak, and that is, let me tell you, that is not a popular opinion. People, I saw a Reddit thread just the other day. People trashing. They had a pictures. You know, the Wii U and the 3DS just went offline. The servers. Somebody took a picture of the Wii U dash, like on the gamepad, and there was like, it was like some, you know, the headline of the Reddit thread was like, how did anybody ever get hired to like design this? Like, people really hate that, and I just thought it was excellent. I was like, this is great. This is really all I ever need, and it made sense. It was like, I used to always say, like, the 3DS, the Wii, the Wii U, it was like your phone. Like, that's what I think, that's what Nintendo did, is they looked at what phones were doing, and they're like, just do that. We're gonna copy an iPhone.
That works for me. Like, that
Like,
totally
here's
works for me.
icons on a grid on your page that you can click off of. That's it. Yeah, I liked it.
I typically don't even have the Steam store or the Epic store running on the system. I literally just double click the icon for the game to start.
Again, this is a common thing that I do. I usually get all of my little anecdotes and things backwards, and I've been saying Gidgets and Gazmos forever. That's how my brain works.
And I just completely hear what you said.
I type faster than my brain can. You know, it's like
Gidgets and Gazmos galore. Makes sense. I got it.
The Gazmos. Let's see here. Motive is building a Battlefield team. So EA Motive is building a team for Battlefield to join all the other teams for Battlefield. In the blog post, they said, but development continues on Iron Man, which led Jeff Grubb to kick off his show today, saying that Dead Space 2 was in pre-production, a remake, and EA came out and said that's factually untrue, to which Jason Schreier came out and said no, it's not. So it's a whole he said she said between journalist and publisher. But as I understand it, Jason Schreier says they were working on Dead Space something. It wasn't sure if it was going to be a remake or not yet. The developers were hoping to pitch a new Dead Space game that was then canceled. And the reason that it was canceled, that Jeff and Jason both reported, was that apparently the Dead Space remake sold just out maybe 1 million copies, and it just wasn't enough for EA to make a lot of money off of. So they were like,
they couldn't put microtransactions in it, you know. There was no, you know.
We're putting you back on Battlefield like everybody else, back to the salt mines with you. They have X amount of studios and developers and teams making Battlefield now. And the joke that I made in our Discord is that is a lot of development for mid-ass game. So imagine putting all of your resources and coming out with 2042.
Yeah, it's
do
all
better.
Bad.
Maybe
trying to be Activision
away. Maybe
don't be Activision. Away. You don't need to put everybody on this. Keep making other games. Battlefield don't even work.
Group projects are hard. Maybe take some teams away. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe too many cooks in the kitchen. Maybe that's where you wind up with a futuristic space shooter with tornadoes and shit. It's like maybe tone that back a little.
Yeah.
I love making fun of Battlefield 2042. I've been doing it since we saw it.
Yeah. What is it? No campaign? This is what you want?
I remember I was on Jeff's show and we did our topic that was Rushmore of bad video games, and it was my first pick. And he was like, "Oh, it's not a bad game." I was like, "It absolutely is a bad game. Like it's been almost a colossal failure." He's like, "But people like it." I think his point was like, we could pick like, you know, E.T. I'm like, I'd rather play E.T.
Wow. It's crazy because there is a pretty fervent Battlefield community that still plays the shit out of that game.
There was a moment where it felt like it was turning around. Maybe like a year and a half, like it had a moment, and then it just kind of went away. I don't think it ever quite got there, but I'm excited for them to get to another Battlefield, and maybe the Motive team will help them get there. It doesn't seem like we're getting another Dead Space game, which I don't really mind. That doesn't bother me either way. I'm fine. I'm kind of indifferent. I think it's good that we got the Dead Space remake. I think that's great. They're not Capcom. They're not gonna remake every Dead Space game. I think that's fine. If I were them, and I think about this often with these bigger publishers, why not if you're not going to do anything with that IP, and again, just because they cancel a game doesn't mean they're not going to do anything with IP. They got to think in 10-year terms. Why don't you find an indie house or a third party, a Bloober team, let them make a Dead Space game and just publish that and take your 20% off the top.
Is the IP big enough to even bother with, though?
Does it matter, though, if you're paying a team like Bloober Team? Like, it's big enough to sell for them.
Why?
They made the medium. They made the medium. Like, it's got to do better than that. Like, it's Dead Space. The name alone probably gets you
Apparently, Dead Space didn't do well enough to warrant making a sequel. So apparently, it's not big enough. Apparently,
right? Like, I wonder. Like, these IPs are valuable. You don't want to give it to anybody. You don't want to ruin the IP. But like,
that's where I wonder: is the Dead Space IP big enough to warrant it, or is it just fine as it is? Because we all know nobody liked Dead Space 3, so we don't want to go back down that route. Quite honestly, Dead Space could have just been Dead Space. I don't even know that it needed a sequel. Yeah.
But as horror movies do, anytime you hit on one, you got to try it 5 more. They're making another Blair Witch movie, Dad. That was the news I saw today. There's another Blair Witch. I'm like, we should have left the Blair Witch alone, just like we should have left Texas Chainsaw alone, but we never can. We can't save ourselves from the temptation of maybe we can do it again. They've destroyed Blair Witch ever since it happened. It was such a magical, special thing, and we've done nothing but shit on it ever since. We've just ruined it with every try and sequel and remake. We just keep baptizing it.
I really wish we could ever just leave things alone and just let them be what they are and not have to build on it. Just let it be.
Or it's not even think it's built on it, it's recapture it. People think you have something, they want to try it again. Do it again.
You just re-release it in theaters. That's what you do.
Did you ever see
10 years, 20 years, re-release it.
Did you ever see the Blair Witch remake that happened like mid-20 to like 2016, 2017, something like that?
No.
It might be one of the worst movies I've ever seen. It's terrible.
They remade it? Why?
Yeah. And there's like, in the middle of the night, there's like, I don't know, a forest of the Blair Witch, whatever. It's like sucking tents up into the sky. And it's so fucking stupid.
The Blair Witch was perfect for what it was. It was this weird ass found footage type thing that we had never seen before. It was perfect.
It was a moment.
Just left it alone.
It was the blend of like the internet age, right? Coming into it, and the long con and the fake. It was so good.
Yep.
It kayfabed everybody, and then we couldn't leave well enough alone.
There didn't need to be a 2, and just do it like the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Just every year 5, you just re-release it. You have a thing for it.
Night, Blair Witch at the movie theaters. Come back. Yeah. Couldn't do it.
We just can't leave shit alone.
Yeah, that Blair Witch movie. My wife was she told me it was. She's like, you embarrassed me. She's like, I was embarrassing sitting next to you, because the whole time this terrible movie's happening, this terrible scene is happening, and I'm cackling at how stupid and silly this is. This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Like, this is so stupid. It was just laughing, howling out loud as I could. I was dying of laughter. I couldn't believe that I was like, I loved the Blair Witch. I was dying of laughter, like in the sense that I was witnessing. I was like, this cannot be what they came up with. Like, really? This is, it's terrible. Okay.
Oh,
Speaking of EA, this comes from gamesindustry.biz. The price for EA Play is expected to increase soon. The monthly price going from $5 to $6. The annual price going from $30 to $40. So,
EA puts out enough stuff, I guess.
Yeah, actually, they do a much better job of justifying their subscription than Ubisoft does. I think their sports games alone probably make it a lot easier for a lot of people.
The problem with that is the EA Play. They don't come right away. They come way.
They have a tier that does. It's an expensive tier, but
that's a very expensive tier. The like EA Play Pro
or whatever.
That's just
but if you
way too expensive.
But if you're buying if you're buying 2 sports games from them a year, day one, that pays for it. Like if you're a FIFA and a Madden player, like you're good.
Are you though? Because I feel like the Pro is only on PC.
Oh, is it? Oh, well, then
exactly. The Pro plan is only on PC, and that is not where Madden and FIFA players are playing. They're playing on console. So the Pro tier, I feel like is not it.
I mean, for me,
you got an Xbox.
Game Pass. It's included in the Game Pass. I'll just wait for it to come to the vault, with the exceptions. Like I'm going to buy NCAA. Day one twice. Buy it twice, actually. And and if it comes to PC,
Is it coming to Switch?
I don't. No. I was saying
Then you
if it
bought it
comes to
once.
PC, yeah,
It's not coming to PC.
coming. Yeah, it's not coming to PC.
It's not coming to PC.
I'm just buying the one copy. But yeah,
Saved you some money.
For most EA games, I still haven't played Avium. They're like, "Do you want to give us $4 for it?" I'm like, "Nope, I absolutely do not. I want you to put it in Game Pass where it's supposed to be." And here's the thing.
You know where it is? PS Plus.
You remember we talked about it with Haley?
Mm-hmm.
This game should have launched into those fucking services because nobody knew what it was. Like, that's a prime candidate to, like, you know what? Put it in Game Pass. At the very least, EA Play is supposed to have trials, which they've really kind of went away from. Like, we don't really get them anymore. But like when it was first unveiled, all of their games are supposed to have 10-hour trials. And I think they saw that people stopped buying the games. You gave them 10-hour trials to the games. But Avium, that's the game that should have had the trial.
Yeah.
Get people in it, let them put their hands on it, let them decide if they want it. Maybe they'd buy it. But they didn't. They released it in a big window that was competitive. Nobody wanted to buy it because they didn't know what it was. Then they closed the studio because nobody bought it. It's like, why even make the game? We all could have told you that was going to happen.
Yeah.
If you don't, it's a brand new IP. Nobody even knows what it is. You're telling them to get that instead of Call of Duty? Get out of here. Put it in people's hands. Let it find an audience. You know?
I wonder how many people are actually going to play it because it hit PS Plus this month. Like, I wonder if it's going to see like a surge of players.
Josh really liked it, right? I think maybe Garrett did. This
it
might
looks
be one
cool.
of those gems that years down the road, people are like, you know what was cool? Immortals of Avium was cool. You know, that might be one of those games.
It definitely looks cool. I know I got it. I have it on PC and PlayStation. I haven't played it yet, though. But it looks cool.
I almost feel like if you're launching a brand new IP, especially if it doesn't have a license, like, you should almost build in like the wiggle room to take a loss on the first game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we know the first one's not going to be good, but we're going to get it back with the second one.
Yeah.
You know, it's like almost like the goal. It's like, let's see if we can break even on the first one.
Yeah.
That should be the goal. Let's build and make a game spending X amount of dollars that we think we can break even on. And then let's see if we can't get them back with the 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, man, you got Fortnite putting fucking Lego and cars and Valheim and everything in Fortnite for free.
Everything under the sun.
Right. It's just like taking over. It's literally like curbing the video game industry. Just sucking every game into itself. It's becoming fucking singularity. Fortnite explodes and resets the video game universe. You know, we've got Pal World, you know, that's on Game Pass and, you know, everything else. And how many games come out for free? And you've got Warzone and the actual games that sell, Hobbits and Call of Duty and shit. And you're like,
how do you even get into that little pile?
Right. It's like we've got a AAA magic Doctor Strange shooter that you've never heard of and don't know. $60, please. And it's like, oh, that didn't sell well? Who could have fucking saw that coming? Like, you guys pay each other, like your CEO makes millions of dollars.
Yeah, you're paying your CEO way too much money. Like, maybe we need to stop that and think about how we actually
market. You have a strategy officer over there? Like, nobody was like, this probably isn't going to go well. Really? That's an easy one, man. We all knew that. You got Baldur's Gate out here taking 400 hours of people's lives, and you're like, I've got Doctor Strange shooter, but not Doctor Strange. So you should have put Doctor Strange in Avium. Maybe it would have done something.
They should have probably cut the game in half, made it a cheaper game. Let's go back to this AA type thing. Yeah. Maybe build an audience, and then, like you said, do number 2.
Yeah, then we ended up with the big one.
We went balls to the wall and made something that nobody knows exists.
It was pretty though.
It was.
Yeah. Was it the first Unreal that like hit consoles?
I don't remember.
Unreal Engine 5. I'm sorry, UE5.
Maybe. I don't remember.
If it wasn't, it was like one of the. It was like I think it was like the first maybe big one. You know, that did it in like a major way.
Yeah.
Rumor control. Gears is being planned for Summer Games Fest from Xbox, according to lots of different pundits. The Verge threw it in there along with Flight Sim about Indiana Jones and the next Call of Duty game. This first came out, and there was like it came out like after the Hellblade thing. Like Hellblade previews come out, and everybody hates Hellblade, which still crushes me as a person. I can't believe this is what they're with Hellblade. And then immediately the reaction was, "But Gears is going to be awesome." And I mean, I think I understand where like that, where that comes from,
Yeah.
how that comes out. I do think Gears is going to be awesome because I think Gears is awesome. The Coalition does great work. I also am like not surprised. Again, I hate to say I told you so, but like we did our prediction show in January, and I was like, yeah, it's time for Gears. Gears is about to show up. So this, to me, like this really shouldn't be a shock or a surprise to anybody. I almost want to say like, of course Gears is, but what else would they show? They've shown everything else. Like they've shown Perfect Dark and they've shown Fable. Like we know so many games that they're developing. Contraband and State of Decay 3 and South of Midnight and so many games. They don't have a whole lot of projects. They don't have a whole lot of projects that are work. The Coalition has been quiet for years now. And I think my whole point back then was they need Gears. That's where they are. You know, they need Gears. There was a time where Grubb was talking about the Coalition was pre-proing. They were working on 2 projects. They had like an indie joint and they had Gears. And then about a year later, he was like, they're just doing Gears. And when that happened, I was like, yeah, I totally see how that happens. You know how that's happening? Xbox getting their teeth kicked in right now. And I bet somebody walked in and was like, fucking release the Helldivers. Like, we need the Gears game.
Get Gears out here and put it on PlayStation while you're at it.
Yeah, it's just like fucking we need I felt that way almost instantly after Infinity. Halo Infinite comes out and it's like,
yeah,
I hope
bombed
Gears somewhere.
Where's Gears?
I hope you got Gears back there. So yeah, I hope we see Gears and I hope it looks amazing. And I would imagine it's probably next year. That would be like my guess, as in like at the earliest late 2025, I would think. At the earliest.
That far out, huh? Wow.
Yeah, I don't think it's anywhere soon because I would expect that the Coalition is like the frontline developer for Unreal Engine. Like, in my mind, I don't know if maybe I'm mistaking somebody, like a third party or something, but like the Coalition crushes Unreal. Like that's what their thing. That's what they do. And I think the Gears games have been a great showcase of like that engine and what the engine can do.
Yeah.
So I would expect when they show us Gears 6, I expect it's going to blow our fucking minds, which makes me think it's, you know, it's going to be in development for a minute. Let's say they've been working on it let's say they've been working on it actively since 2021. 2025 feels like the earliest.
Yeah.
Maybe something like that could come out.
Sense.
Probably.
Yeah, it makes sense. 4 years. Yeah, absolutely. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Games take a while.
I have no idea what they're going to do.
Games of that caliber.
After Gears 5, I'm very excited. Now, here's the thing. We don't know it's Gears 6. I think it's Gears 6, but maybe it's a remake. Maybe there's a collection. Those rumors have never died. Despite, I don't think there's any real evidence that that rumor like really exists. We've been talking about a Phoenix collection for like 5 years.
People just want it to be true.
Like, yeah, I think it's like some leaker floated it and like it just never died. Like that rumor just won't go away. But I think it's going to be Gears 6 because I think that's what they need. Yeah, they need that. That might be, you know, crazy to say this. That might be like the Xbox Series like big game before they release a new console.
That makes sense. I can see that happening for sure.
Like it's nuts that we're
a little shot in the arm.
It's nuts that we're there. We're in the frame of them just releasing a brand new console.
It's crazy. It feels like these consoles just kind of came out and now we're already like getting pro versions or getting new consoles. It's just like, man.
You're talking about the next generational leap, Dev. Generational.
Like, whoa.
Yeah.
We're going
Gears
all the way.
Powered AI powered Gears.
Oh boy.
Your teammates are good now. They're powered by AI.
Oh man.
I'm stoked for more. Give me another damn gun to buy. Give me new stupid editions. I need more statues. Give me more Lancers. Like, let's
there it is. Go buy it all on PlayStation.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. We talked about last week the NCAA reveal. It's unveiling. It's releasing January or July. July 19th is the date that's being floated. Okay. Matt Brown did his extra points blog today where he dropped May 16th as an internal date that's being targeted for the first actual like trailer reveal for the game. Like you'll see gameplay, footage. This is the game. That's when the marketing cycle begins. He's saying it's going to start mid-May.
So hype.
With May 16th is the date that's circled. So if you are out there, you've been listening to me for the last 8 years talk about NCAA football and when to come back, the end is near.
The last one was 2014, right?
It was NCAA 2014 was the last game, which came out in 2013.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think there was Michigan on the cover, right?
Yeah, we haven't had a game since then. And
10 long years.
I've just been reskinning Retro Bowl to make my own college football game and playing it for 100 hours instead, or putting NCAA football on every other device that I own and playing PS2 versions of the game and GameCube and PSP. I'm hyped for that game. Not super hyped, not Hellblade hype, but definitely getting it. I honestly don't even need that game to be good.
It just needs to exist. It just needs to be
really
real.
Do. Can I just play football? It literally could be Madden with Ohio State jersey and be like, it's not good, but I'm gonna play it though.
Yeah.
I am going to play.
I'm gonna play it for 30 seasons.
Yeah,
I'm gonna take the shit job and get to the Buckeyes.
Watch them Roy McIlroy this motherfucker. Watch
Oh
it.
no!
It's just like, it's terrible. I don't think it's going to be though. There seems to be, and again, this always seems to be the case until it's not. Like Cyberpunk was the same way. But this Matt Brown guy, he's got internal studio sources. Every time he talks about it, like, oh God, that's going to keep going off.
What is that?
Yeah, that's my. Sorry about that.
You've muted yourself. Oh.
So
tell Jack to fix it. Jack, go take care of the alarm, sir.
Yeah, let's see here. I didn't even think about that. There we go.
It's like a window, automated. A door.
No, it's automated. It was setting itself. It was arming itself. It automatically arms itself. It automatically turns itself off. So what's going on? Yeah. So the Matt Brown, his sources inside the studio, as he explains it, like these people really love college football. Like there's a lot of. Mm-hmm. It feels like how people talked about the folks that make the show. Mm-hmm. I was gonna say, is it San Diego? Who makes
San Diego?
Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. How people talk about them, how much they love.
They love that game. Yeah, they love it.
That's kind of the vibes that I keep getting from him. And again, he could be wrong. Could just be, good talk. But he really hypes them up. He's like, he's talking about how the transfer portal is going to work and how they are really getting into it. Like they're nerdy for this shit. So
I think it's going to be much better than Madden because of the development cycle. Like they actually have time to make this game what it should be. And I think people are going to love it. I think it's going to be really good.
I hope so because I want to see the cover. I guess we'll see that in May. The first trailer, we should finally get the cover.
I hope they do multiple covers.
That would be good. I think that would be good.
It needs to be regional covers.
Should sell like replacement covers.
That too. I mean, you can always print your own. Don't even sell them. Sure. Don't even sell them. Just have a website where you can get your cover and print it off.
Yeah, but like the paper's never quite the same and all that,
Do you really want to have one shipped to you?
Here's the thing. I think college football fans do. Yes.
Oh my God.
I think if you did like a custom printer thing, I'm telling you, I'm not even exaggerating. I bet you could sell custom covers for like $15, $20. And I bet,
oh my God,
I bet you'd sell thousands of them.
All to Alabama.
Auburn. Yeah. You get the right, or here's the other thing, partner with the universities and like let them sell it for like, NIL
on campus.
Yeah. You would sell gangbusters of them. So many.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's also assuming that people are going to buy the game physically.
I think they will. I think most people will. I will.
Interesting. That's going to be something I'm going to be very curious to see how many physical versions are sold versus like digital copies.
I'm sure it'll still be most.
I'm just curious. Like, is this going to be like the number one physical game seller of the year?
Because we didn't have it for so long. And it's like its legacy is that, and because it was like taken away and games like that, like I think there's going to be like No. I need a copy of the game.
Shit, I might buy one and leave it in cellophane just to sell in 10 years
Hey,
when they
you
kill it
laugh,
again.
but after they killed it, the prices explode. If you had disc copies of NCAA 14, like the price, I've seen that game sell for over $100. You know, like I think there's that. Now that may just be a minority, it probably is, but I do think like that stigma that all that happened. I think a lot of those folks are like, I want a copy of the game.
Yeah.
So if all shit goes to hell and everything, I can still just fucking pull this out and play it.
Unless they pull an Ubisoft and must have internet to install.
Well, yeah, you know how that goes. And I continue to pray and hope for maybe not, I don't even need it day one. Just tell me it's coming to Steam. Just say it's coming to Steam later.
It's not coming to Steam. It's not. I'm sorry.
EA's
sorry,
put all their stuff on Steam. Like all their games
not
on
all.
Steam. All the sports
Not
games.
all. There's
Most of them.
Something didn't come recently.
From EA?
What was it? Yeah, it was something that didn't come recently. I don't remember if it was the new FIFA game. It was something that didn't come.
Oh, FIFA's
like,
on.
damn.
You know, that football club is on Steam. That's what it's called, right? EA Football Club.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine they didn't put that on Steam.
I could.
Because for a while there, they were keeping all their stuff to like boost EA launcher.
Yep.
And then they've basically all but just given up on that. They're like, yeah, we're not doing that. I don't see EA Football Club.
Like I said, I don't think it's on Steam.
I see FIFA 23, but I don't. Yeah, I don't see EA Football Club.
I'm
That's
pretty
what it was
sure
called, right? EA.
Yes, EA Football Club, EAFC. I feel like it didn't come to Steam.
Wow, you're right. Good call, Dev. You've caught me on a lot of those today.
Sometimes I do research. Sometimes I know things.
I thought EA was doing a lot of things. No. Nope. EA Sports FC 24 Steam page.
It's there. Okay, but to say like I feel like it wasn't there.
Got there. New releases: EA Sports FC 24, Madden 24, Super Mega Baseball 4, EA Sports PGA Tour, EA Sports FIFA 23, Madden 23, FIFA 22, Super Mega Baseball 3. Like, yeah, all their games, their upcoming releases, they have none. It's a big zero listed at the moment. But yeah, like I think their racing game, I forget what they're doing.
F1.
Well, yeah, F1, but that developer Codemasters has their other game too. They do F1 and they do the other thing. I think both of those games. I forget what it's called.
They still make a NASCAR game.
It was dirt, but then I don't know, it was like World Rally Championship or something. They started doing something else. So yeah. Anyway, we spent way too much time on that.
It's got a shit rating on Steam too.
Which one?
Terrible. EA Sports FC 24.
Well, since Sean's
3 out of 4
stars.
stars.
Why they changed the name? People don't like it anymore.
That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my
Remember
life.
that when we talked about Shane was
Yeah.
like it's going to sell
Why are you
less
so
now.
mad? It's so dumb.
He was right. It
doesn't
did
matter.
sell less. It was like marginally less, but he was right. Sean was right. Hashtag Sean was right.
Nah.
I think EA is super happy because they're not having to cut FIFA. I think the licensing fee was 15%.
We ain't got to give you no money.
15% of FIFA is a shit ton of money.
It's a lot.
That's a lot.
It's enough money that they save that they should just go ahead and keep making Dead Space, right?
Like they could sell like 2% less games and make out ahead by keeping the 15%. So yeah, they could take that 15% and fund Dead Space 2.
Fund Dead Space. Stop putting everybody on Battlefield. Like we've got options here. We've got ways to not have to do the dumb shit that we do.
Like wait till they put Respawn on that. Like it's like a never-ending thing. Every time something happens, they're like, back to the salt mines with you. Back to Battlefield.
It's like, well, you know what? We got to be like Activision. Everybody was working on Call of Duty, so clearly this is the path we must take.
And that's the bummering part about. I've thought that about 343 and the Coalition for a long time. I want them to do other things. I want to see something else from the Coalition that's not Gears. I was excited to hear about them doing something, but they need Gears now. But like, we need to go to a place where we can do that because that's got to be tormenting as a creative person. You're like just stuck there. You're like, this is all I do. We just do infinite Spartan warfare forever.
Yeah, and not even good Spartan warfare.
Right.
Yeah. It's unfortunate.
Infinite has had like a redemption arc.
Has it?
I think so, yeah. A lot of people come back to it. Like, that game is better than it will be remembered for. It was very critically torn apart because it didn't carry the weight of an entire like console launch on its shoulders. It wasn't that game. But if you remove it from that, if you don't want it to be that game, and you just treat it like it's better than Battlefield 2042, it's not that bad.
Maybe they should have just said we're not doing a campaign. Just release it as PvP. Call it a day. Like, maybe we just don't need the Master Chief story. Maybe we just put out the PvP because that's all you people care about anyway.
But yeah, it's been it's been ticking up on the Xbox playlists. I know Jack and his friends all got back into it heavy there for a couple months. I think Sean and his friends have been playing. Like, I kind of feel like it's come around. People are like, oh, it's pretty fun. I think the seasons, the updates that they've done have added a lot to it.
No, you know what it really is. There's just nothing else to play on Xbox. That's really what it boils down to.
Damn, always with you. And honestly, the way that they marketed and talked about it, it might have been that it just wasn't Destiny or as good as Destiny. And that might have been a big part of, why people were really critical over it. But again, Destiny wasn't Destiny at launch either.
Right. Had to go into it.
Destiny wasn't like the famous, like, didn't Destiny get a 6 or something when it was released?
Oh, Destiny got torn apart. But the funny thing was, reviewers hated it.
Actually,
everybody played it.
In that parallel, Infinite might be a lot like Destiny in that regard. Like, they may have gotten off to similar starts.
Maybe.
I played it. I liked it.
I don't follow Halo.
It wasn't ultimately what I wanted from a Halo game, like narratively, but it was fun. It was fun to play. I liked like open world shooter game. It's kind of cool. I could have used a little bit more Far Cry.
I didn't like it. I played it. I didn't like it at all. I don't like the way the guns it just didn't do it for me. But I love the TV show, I'll tell you that much. Can't wait for season 3. Shit was fantastic. I'm here for all of Halo.
Maybe they should have just put the TV show in the game. That's what was missing.
Maybe.
The game, episode 1, they just quantum break that shit. Massive hit.
I
hate everybody so much. Like, I couldn't believe that's where we were going with video games. It was like, I hate this. I hate everything about this. How long is this? 16 minutes? What are we doing?
Ooh, they Kojima'd it?
Yeah, only Kojima gets to do this, and we don't like it when he does it. Who the hell do you think you are?
Wow.
People love Quantum Break. People love it.
They do?
Like, game of the console, game of the generation. People love it. And I'm like,
really?
I wish I could.
I mean, I wouldn't know. It's not my area.
Yeah. I bought a console for it. That was that was my first Xbox. Yeah.
Oh.
For anybody that hasn't listened, that was my first Xbox One. I was Xbox 360, and then I, like everybody else, jumped ship and went PlayStation 4. And honestly, my first 2 years of PlayStation 4, I was in love. Honeymoon phase, I loved everything about it.
Indie Station 4.
And as the years kept going, I was like, this isn't what I want. This is less of what I want. Like, it felt like it got worse.
It got better and better for me as it went on.
And then,
continue.
And then, Quantum Break came out, and all the marketing had like a console, and like they dropped the price, and I was like, okay, I'm all in. Let's try it. And then again, like in so many Donnie eat the hype ways, swing and miss, just crash and burned. Just got infatuated, fixated on something, and then paid heavenly for it. Like, just just paid for it, and all of the karma came back and kicked me in the ass.
But it reignited your love for Xbox.
It did. It got me back in.
Mm-hmm.
And then they saved me with Game Pass. Since then, I've been all in. I'm like, oh shit, this
Game Pass, Hellblade,
Yeah.
Gears 5.
Well, Hellblade wasn't. I played Hellblade on PlayStation. It didn't come to Xbox and everything until later.
It didn't come to Xbox.
Yeah. That's the funny thing. That's why I bring up when they're talking about we want to put games out and learn about them. You should put Hellblade on it. That's the game that would fucking sell. I guarantee you it'd sell on PlayStation. Because it did the first time. Like, they have an audience there.
Might actually run at 60 frames per second on PlayStation. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't think so. Definitely don't think so. That's not going to happen.
They might be like, look, you're putting a performance mode in this, all right? I don't care what.
Now that might happen.
You're bringing it here. You're putting performance mode.
720p 60, but that's possible.
Yeah. PS5 Pro. Let's go.
You need a pro model. I could get behind a pro model for Hellblade.
You wouldn't though.
No. I bought my pro model. Got it. It's right here.
It's called a PC. Yeah I've got one of those as well.
It's pretty pro.
It's very nice.
I got my pro upgrade.
I haven't turned my PlayStation on in forever.
What it took me all 60 minutes of Dying Light 2, and I was like, no.
Yeah. Dev, we need a PC.
Dev, no, we need to fix this. No, I don't like this at all.
I legitimately have not turned on my PlayStation since I think early February for Prince of Persia.
Wow.
And then I played the couple of hours of Skull and Bones, but I haven't turned it on since. Like there's nothing on it that I want to play.
I still play my console like regularly. I mean, I use it almost every day because it is my streaming machine. It's like what I use my entertainment for. But I play it. It's just, I don't know how the best way to categorize it. I just play like, I have a subset of games that I play there. You know, like that's where I play Lego 2K. That's where I play NBA 2K. That's where I play Madden. It's like more evergreen kind of gaming. You know, if I'm sitting down and if I care about like the visuals of performance, or if I'm like really into a game, if I want to play it as best as I can, I'm not playing it there. Yeah. If I'm playing something that I don't care too much about and I'm playing for fun and like just want to relax in my chair, I play that on console.
It makes sense.
With the exception of Forza. Forza just runs better on console. It just, I can't explain it, just does. It feels better. It's like more stable. You know, it's optimized, as most people would say. I don't know what there is about it. The load time's better. It just is better.
Interesting. Yeah. My PlayStation is literally just a PlayStation exclusive box. If it's not a PlayStation exclusive, I ain't playing it there.
You're going to have to dust that thing off later this year then. It's going to be a while.
Oh, no. This month.
Are you getting Stellar Blade?
Stellar Blade. I'll probably pick that up.
I didn't know if you were getting it. You didn't play the demo. I didn't know if you were actually going to get the game.
I downloaded the demo. I just never got around to playing it because Helldivers is just so good.
See, I didn't think you were actually buying the game. I thought that was just kind of teasing. You were actually going to get Stellar Blade?
I think, yeah. My birthday is next week. I got a little bit of money. I'm probably going to pick up Hellblade.
I don't know if that's your sort of game. Like, do you play games like that? Like,
from watching the demo and having like all of the actual combat and parries, I'm like, yeah, this looks good. And it's not too soulsy. I'm like, yeah, I can get with this.
But not the samurai game though. Not the other one.
No, it looks like shit. I don't want to play that.
Well, it does. It does. And I hate to be mean on it, but like it doesn't look visually. It's not overwhelming.
Yeah. And the story isn't great. It's like it's just nothing about that game. And from jump, I was like, I'm not feeling this. And nothing about it since has really pulled me in. So I'm like, yeah, no, I'm good. I have no real desire.
That game for you. I know you joke on it, but like I really kind of, I'm hoping back in my brain, I'm like, I wonder if this Creed Red will win him over.
I don't think it will.
This is awesome fucking samurai Assassin's Creed game.
I don't think it will. I think I'm just done with. I think I'm just done with Creed. I liked the original Assassin's Creed to a point. I think I'm just kind of over the big.
But we don't know that this game is going to be that. Right? Mirage
didn't they say this is back to like the super big Mirage? I didn't play either.
I don't think this is. I don't know. I honestly,
if it ain't Ghost of Tsushima, I can tell you no, I'm not going to want to play it.
I wasn't under the impression that this was Witcher RPG Creed. I think it's somewhere in the middle. I was thinking something more like Mirage, but like maybe bigger than Mirage, but something like that, maybe more focused. Honestly, probably something very comparable to Tsushima. Like Tsushima, but Tsushima is not Valhalla. You know, Tsushima is like 1/8 of Valhalla. Yeah, like I was expecting.
What I'm talking about.
Yeah, I think it might be more Tsushima-esque. Maybe a little bit bigger, but maybe Tsushima-esque.
We'll see. We'll have to see the combat. We'll see.
Of course, we got to see the combat and stuff.
I think my biggest problem with Assassin's Creed is the thing that I enjoyed about the game the most was the whole Assassins versus Templars, like your Desmond in like modern times working towards it. And when they took that out, it really just kind of like, I don't even want to play no more. Like it just kind of took away
kills me. I know we've talked about it before, but this is what we do on podcasts. Valhalla has so much of that in there. Seriously, it's shit done.
Is it Desmond
And
in the
it's
modern day dealing with the Templars versus the
not
Assassins?
Desmond, but it is modern day dealing with Templars and Assassins. But here's the thing, though. It's crazier than that, though. Like, it's really, really ratcheted up. We're talking big Marvel fucking superhero shit, like timeline jumping, fucking futuristic, that kind of stuff. Like, you really got to figure it out. Like,
But
this
it's
guy in
Vikings.
modern times is a doppelganger for fucking Zeus and shit, and Odin and the bat. Like, it's kind of nuts. And it's so much of what you've told me about all these things you like entertainment wise, I think parallels, but your disdain for it won't allow you to like see it. Like, won't allow you to like it.
It's too big and it's Vikings. I'm just like,
You would have to 200 hours of Viking to get there.
Yeah, no,
But it
no.
is like maybe like watch a YouTube on just the story part of like, so you can see the modern day parts. Like, I don't think the Valhalla would appeal to you at all, but I think the modern day parts might.
But if I can't just play that, then it's just a waste of my time.
Right, but like, I want to see if I can maybe give you like a 3-minute YouTube recap of just that. You know, that's another game I was playing on my Switch. I played Assassin's Creed Rogue for about an hour. I never played it.
I've always had it either.
I want to say, was that the remaster that came with like the gold version of the other one?
I don't know.
Bought
I
the
just know
gold
that
version of one of the games, you got Rogue remastered for free as like an add-on.
Maybe.
My memory.
I just remember that when it came out, it was so they only made it for PS3 and 360 when everything else was launching on PS4 and whatever it was.
And that's
so
why I didn't play it the
left behind. Yeah,
that's why I didn't play it the first time. The remaster came out when another Assassin's Creed game, and I'm almost sure, because what I think is Kevin bought the game, and got the gold version, and then we got the add-on for free, and then I just never played it. I never got to it. It just kind of sat there, and then they put the Rebel Collection on Switch, which I bought, and I played Creed 4, played Black Flag for a little bit, but I never played Rogue despite having it. So I'm sitting there playing around with the Switch, and I was like, I'm gonna try it. There's a lot of fan service and modern day shit in that game that I didn't know. Like early on, I'm walking around like this studio, and like there's fucking magazines of Far Cry on tables and statues of different Creed games, and like it's a lot of modern day stuff. And I was like, oh shit!
So it was like Black Flag.
Yeah,
it's the last time I did that. Yeah, that shit pissed me off too.
Yeah, so
I got a lot of animosity towards Assassin's Creed.
Like, I got a lot of problems with you.
Yeah, the direction that they went.
Grievances.
Oh my god, the direction they took just pissed me off. Not to mention, I fell asleep while playing Assassin's Creed 3.
I hate that because I do love the series. It's not that like I don't love it I think it's the best like at what it does. It's just like, I always say, like, I really respect that they somewhat regularly, right?
Yeah.
Really give us like these big grand, like, I feel like you get a lot of bang for your buck. Like, Ubisoft really tries.
They do
to give you something really good frequently. You don't wait every 8 years for one of these. They really do crank them out. And I know people don't like the formulaic stuff, but like, they're good. They have good writing. They have good, so like, they're dependable. That's the word. They're dependable. I like that a lot about them. I really respect that. We used to have a lot of that in this industry when we were coming up.
Yeah.
And there's not a lot of that anymore.
Yeah. Let's look at the division.
Like, there's a part of me that really values, like, man, it's like they're there for you. They got you.
Yeah. They really care about trying to do their games justice.
We're a fucking really fun B+. Like, you're gonna have 100 hours of really good fun with us here for $60. Like, they respect your money, and they make fun games.
Yeah, and if you really want to just dive in, we've got a subscription for that, and you get the gold versions of all of our stuff
and Avatar and all that.
Yeah, I think all your Division in.
I think we're gonna see Far Cry soon. I don't know if it'll be the summer, but I think, and we're nearing that Far Cry realm where by like this point, maybe next year, between this upcoming summer season and the next one, I think we see Far Cry. It's about time.
Yeah, I'm here for Far Cry, and I would love for them to just give me a true sequel to Watch Dogs 2. Like, I'm still holding out hope for one day, because that cast of characters, oh my god, I loved it.
Do you think
I love that game.
You think they'll do that? Do you think we'll ever get Watch Dogs again?
Probably not. I think they really screwed the pooch with whatever the hell this last Watch Dogs games was. I can't remember the name of it.
Legion
Just pissed me off.
right?
Legion. Like, they just.
That was bad.
But maybe if you do a true Watch Dogs 3 that picks up with Marcus and Creed.
Remaster the first one.
No.
Make the first one what it was supposed to be.
Didn't they do that? Didn't they remaster it?
I don't think
I feel
so.
like they did. But they don't need to do that. They don't need to do that. They just need to go ahead and give us the true sequel to 2. All right? The game was fucking amazing. Great story. Great cast of characters. Huh?
Watch Dogs 2.5.
No, just Watch Dogs 3, because Legion was just Legion. We can still do just
I guess
3.
you're right. Yeah. I always think it was 3, but it was just Legion.
So
just call it a side story.
Yeah.
Like, where does Legion fit in there? And they're like, what? Huh?
It's
Legion?
Legion is after because the character, because Marcus and
I'm just thinking in retrospect, they just never acknowledged it ever happened. Huh?
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
He is down the hall guy. What? Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna see another Watch Dogs.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, Ubisoft likes to keep trying, so we might.
Oh, you're gonna get a Watch Dogs live service game. You're gonna get a free-play live service co-op multiplayer Watch Dogs game.
Why? Why do you have to ruin my night like that?
Watch Dogs is one of those franchises that I like. Usually, like at times, I'll think about and be like, "Would I maybe like that now? You know, like should I go back and try that?" I never have. I've never gotten that close, but like I often think about it because I know you and Kevin really love that game. I'll bring it up a lot.
It is,
and I love a lot of Ubisoft games, but Watch Dogs was never one of them.
Yeah, I didn't like the first one. I didn't finish the first one, but 2, it's just it's the 2. Part 2 was something just different. It didn't take itself as seriously. And I think really what it is just the characters in the game. Like, you really care about them. And there are some moments that happen in that game that you're just like, whoa. And all of the side stuff, like the side missions, it's like one of the first games with the side missions don't just feel like fetch quests or nonsense. They all weave into the story well. And that's another game where I didn't kill a soul in that entire game. Like, it really was about like the hacking. Like, the way I played it, it was all hacking. I didn't kill anybody. He has a stun gun, so if I had to actually get into combat, I would just use a stun gun, put him to sleep, get away or whatnot. But everything for me was about just using all the gizmos and gadgets and hacking, and then just the story told of the characters. So I love that damn game.
Gadgets and Gizmos.
Gadgets and Gizmos, baby.
Yeah, I think as it's shaping up now, we're gonna get Creed game, Splinter Cell remake, Prince of Persia Rogue, and yeah, like maybe they tease the Far Cry, or if not tease to it, you know, like there's something else, maybe like another surprise. And then the next show that they do, either this fall or the Game Awards or the next one, probably lines up. It's probably about time for the next Far Cry game. Yeah. They have 2 Far Cry games in development. There's a single player Far Cry game, then there's a multiplayer Far Cry game.
Oh. Yeah. Well, good. Do that, though. We don't have to have the weird, dumb DLC add-on crap that y'all did with 6.
Well, I think they're going to do that too. Oh, I think the single player one is also going to have a multiplayer element, but I think they're doing like a live service Far Cry shooter game. You know, like Destiny Cry. I think they're doing something like that.
We don't need that.
They're going to keep trying.
They have enough of those. We don't need to put Far Cry's name on that.
I think that multiplayer one, it might be further along too. I think that might be the first one that we see.
We have the Division. We don't like.
Oh, that's the other one. Heartland still hasn't come out. So yeah, Division. Get Creed. We'll get the Splinter Cell remake. And
that ain't happening.
Division game. No, the Splinter Cell remake is real.
Nah, it's about as real as Beyond Good and Evil 2. I don't believe.
No, that's definitely fake. But they told it. Like, didn't they announced that already? Right? The Splinter Cell development.
No, they didn't. Did they? I don't remember seeing any announcements for that.
I thought that was an open thing. Maybe I've just read so many rumors. I just believe it to be fake or believe it to be real. I think they come out and say they were remaking the Splinter Cell game.
No, I'm pretty sure.
The announcement post, Matt West revealed Splinter Cell remake is being built from the ground up. Yeah, that happened.
How long ago did that happen?
Let me see if I can find it.
Like how long ago? I had to be like what 4 years ago, 5 years ago. We ain't heard nothing
Splinter
since.
Cell remake, Stepping Out of the Shadows, was 2 years ago. Ubisoft has greenlit the development of a Splinter Cell remake that will draw from the rich canvas of the brand, led by Ubisoft Toronto. Yeah, so it's been in development for 2 years. It is a remake. It's a remake, but it's a ground up remake. But they don't take as long. And I mean, I would think that they would show. Who knows? Like nobody knows. If I was guessing, these are my guesses for the Ubisoft show. As I think we see, Prince of Persia content. I think we see a Splinter Cell remake and Assassin's Creed Red and Star Wars. And then I think Ubisoft does a forward in the fall. And then like that fall to Game Awards area is where I would start penciling in maybe something from Far Cry. Maybe we hear about the next Far Cry game. Kind of like Outlaws. We got Outlaws, but then we didn't get it until like now. Like now it's actually starting. I'm thinking something like that for Far Cry. Like a teaser of Far Cry's coming. And, they start kicking that off down the road.
Yeah. All right.
Because they should have... Based on Infinity, we should have multiple Creed projects beginning to stack up. So we'll have Red this year. Then we'll have like the mobile game that got delayed, and then I think maybe not next year, but the year after, we'll have another Creed game. Yeah, and then so like, there's 3 of those, so they should start to stack up as well. Right as we get new consoles, right into next gen.
Oh boy, it'll be
I'm
time to get Donnie a new PC.
Like, I'm really glad that I bought a PC in that regard. I'm not really thinking about consoles like that anymore.
Yeah, until in 3 years when your graphics card is like, ooh, erp. We gotta swap it out. We gotta swap it out.
Oh, I'm not doing that. It's got all the vapor cooling.
No. I don't. I'm so far past that with you. We're never ever removing anything from your PC. We're just gonna send it back and get the new one.
Yeah. Maybe. Sure. Yeah. Probably not.
In three to 4 years, yeah, because you're gonna put something on. You're gonna be like, ooh,
2028. So yeah, maybe by then. I would hope.
Yeah,
it's a long time for a computer.
Not really. 5 years is typical for
not for me.
That's because you fucking use Chromebooks and swap them out every year.
My new Chromebook is so nice, man. I've been really enjoying it. I really am. I'm like, I was telling my uncle about today. I was like, this is the best computer I think I've ever had.
What's the life expectancy? What's the date? Because I know that there's a certain point with Chromebooks where they're like, we don't fuck with this no more.
Oh, there is. It's usually, though, when you buy them brand new, it's usually like a decade. It's like 8 to 10 years. It's a long time. Yeah. It's not short.
That must be the higher end one, because the ones that we get like for school and stuff is 3 years, and they're like,
because
no longer getting updates or support.
Because you're getting budget Chromebooks that were probably new in like 2018, so they're getting old by today's standard.
No, I've had people like friends who've bought Chromebooks brand new, and it's like a 3 year.
I know. Like, but they're buying brand new, but they're buying an old processor. It's all tied to the chipset.
Yeah, that's all it is old.
Budget Chromebook that has the older chipset. Even if you buy it today, it's still in the same timeline as when it was new. Like they're only supporting that chipset for like 10 years. Like for
no, I'm hearing don't buy Chromebooks. That's what I hear.
It's not that. It's no different than Windows.
It's completely different than Windows.
No, it's not. They've turned off half the things. They're turning off all kinds of things. They're telling people they're no longer pushing updates to Windows 10 if you don't upgrade. Like this is the same. You do it the same thing. It's just different.
Oh no, I mean it's Chrome. Nobody wants that.
So let me explain. So like I told you before, in our EOC, I outfitted our EOC with Chromebooks a long time ago.
Yeah.
The Chromebooks that I bought in 2013, we still use. They're out of date. It tells you that when you open it and turn it on, it goes, we're no longer supporting this. You dismiss it. It still works.
Yeah.
It's still security and everything. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. It just is no longer receiving new OS updates.
Oh, yeah, no. I just don't buy Chromebooks.
They're perfect internet browsers. Like, we still use them. When we had, funny thing, when we had the ransomware, and IT or 911 couldn't use all of their services and their desktops weren't working, we deployed our old Chromebooks to 911. We're like, take them. There's 20 machines. You can start today. And, IT is really upset. They don't like that I plug our Chromebooks into the network. They've ID'd, the security team has ID'd this as a vulnerability. You'll love it. Yeah. They tried to throw me under the bus on a conference call. They didn't know I was on. They're talking about security vulnerabilities, and somebody in their security team really doesn't like this. And he was like, well, I just happen to know the EMA has a fleet of Chromebooks that touch our, and I was on the call, and I was like, let me correct you there, sir. Let me just step in and let me cut this off right now. I was like, we do have Chromebooks. You were correct.
Wait a goddamn minute, sir.
I was like, they sit in a locked box. They never touch your fucking network. And we have our own network, our own Wi-Fi that we use them on. And he was like, oh, I was like, we don't plug them in. Why would we plug them into your, what would we gain from that?
Right.
We can run Microsoft Word. We don't run Word. We run docs.
Run dots,
run Excel,
pages,
we run sheets.
Yeah, get that shit out of here. Keep your goddamn Chromebooks. No, thank you, friend.
They're great.
They're
great.
Couldn't catch me doing
my shit worked when nothing else did. So
yeah, my shit always works. So I ain't worried about it.
Until it doesn't. Wait till the ransomware gets you.
It won't get me. It's not my problem. That's the beauty of it. That's the security team's problem. That's not my problem. We're desktop support. I can't do nothing for you until the security team gets their shit together. We'll just field calls. Yeah, it's still down.
I like it. I mean, it's cloud computing. It's kind of like if everybody like connected to RDP.
That's what I really want. I just want to do cloud computing. That's really what I want.
Chromebook, at least with like the workforce, like the workspace domain, that's kind of what it's like. I can put an app in the desktop, like in the workspace domain, hits every Chromebook that logs in. Like they get the new app, I put a dock in the lab, everybody's got it. It's like a shared space.
That's ultimately where I want to go. I just want to be like you. I don't care where you go, whatever computer you go to, you have all your stuff. I don't have to worry about you ever in life. Like just log in and you're good.
Somebody fucks it up. They put stuff on it. They put plugins on it. I literally take a flash drive, hold a button down, reformat it. It takes like 8 minutes. Reimaged, redeployed. It's very. There is a stupid simplicity, easy button to it.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Google really outdid themselves in that regard, and people, nobody wants to use it because it's different, and they'll come up with any excuse to justify that. But like when you use it, it's hard to not use it. Like it's just like everything else feels like pulling teeth because you're like, God, it's so convenient, But when you have to, like my case is unique because in our EOC we may have to deploy 50 laptops to 50 different people from different organizations that aren't even a part of the county, at a moment's notice. And that's very hard to do with county issued machines. You run into all kinds of security policy, network policy, access, domain. I bypass all of that. Just easy button. Here's a Chromebook. Login. They all have the same login. They can all use it simultaneously. They can all use it simultaneously on any one of them. It's like, the login's the same.
I hate it.
It's beautiful.
Ugh, Chromebooks.
Power of the future.
As bad as Apple. Until Google says it's not, and
you said the bad as
kill
Apple.
them all.
It's not $3,000.
That's also true. Fucking. Ugh. Got me out here deploying iPads and shit now. I'm just so irritated. Yeah, Fire and their FirstNet nonsense. I hate the Fire.
We did that years ago. We did FirstNet like 6 years ago.
We just now are getting it, and I cannot.
Sucks.
I know. We keep telling them it's not great.
It's not good.
It's terrible.
We went through it all, and we no longer use it. So
yeah, I don't even like ours is so dumb. Like the separation between the county and like the city is such a pain in the ass for me to navigate with the fire department. It's just it's the worst.
The county just cut the city off from animal control.
I wish they'd cut us off too.
Dude,
please.
All hell.
I don't want no parts of it.
Cussing each other in like the board of commissioners meeting today. The mayor's releasing articles in the paper. Like it's all kinds of cutthroat. The city and the county hate each other. They cannot get over this. They cannot stand each other. Yeah. And the county does animal control for all the cities, which it bills to the cities. The cities have to pay for it. It's divided based on their use, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Atlanta hasn't paid in like 3 years during COVID. And the county like gave them that break because of that. But now we've come out of COVID and the county's like, all right, everybody's got to pay. And the city was like, we can't pay you now in a few months. So the county did it for free for another 4 months. And the city still didn't pay. Not only did they not pay, they came back and they said, okay, we'll pay you, but only if you sell us this building that you have. Because we want the property in the city. And they wanted like reimbursement from, I don't know, like some water bills or something that they think they're owed. And the county was like, yeah, we're not doing that. Either you pay us or we're cutting you off. And I essentially just get the sense from the story is that the city didn't think that would happen. They
And
just
they
kind of
fucked
called
around
the
and found
county's
out.
bluff, and they just did. Yeah. The county manager's like, well, you leave us no choice. So we're no longer accepting calls from city limits for these certain calls.
Yeah.
And then all hell broke loose.
Jeez. Yeah,
So
I hate our animal control because it's county employees, so they're not our employees, but they try to use they need to use our machines, and it's just
yeah,
a pain in the
it's the
ass.
same way. We farm it all out. It's not county employees. It's a
Yeah,
contractor.
it's a pain in the ass. Like your logins don't work. I can't reset your password because you're not my employee. I can't do anything for you. I can't support your stuff.
Chromebooks. You should get animal control Chromebooks. There's a solution
No.
for this.
The county should get animal control
I
Chromebooks.
know.
I shouldn't have to supply them with anything. Drives me nuts.
And yes, Sarah says they should allocate some of the cops. They're not going to do that.
Of course not.
They're not going to stand up their own.
Absolutely not.
That was their thing. They're like, we'll do this ourselves. And you're like, no, you won't. You're not going to pay for that. That's why nobody wants to do it. That's why the county does it. Because nobody else. Every city does what they want to do that they don't want to do. And what they don't want to do, they just leave to the county to do. Like jails, that's a county thing. Animal control, it's a county thing because nobody wants to do that. Libraries, every city wants to do that because that's money. It's FaceTime. It's PR. They want those. We want our own library. Give us the money for libraries. We'll make our own library. Like they like that. Put the commissioner's name on the building and shit. But nobody wants their commissioner's name on the jail. Like commissioner and district jail out. So yeah, the county kind of gets a raw deal in that regard.
Interesting.
All
right, we've tended it far long enough for this.
I thought this was going to be a short show tonight.
Yeah, me too. And it ran 3 hours.
We didn't have a whole lot of questions, not a lot of news.
Yeah, but you and me, we can just talk.
Yeah, we're just talking.
We
kind
can
of like
just
Sean.
go.
Yeah, we just that's true.
All right, Delvin. Sorry you're not here, so you miss out on this Rude Day segment.
Yeah, no questions.
You're bad. That's how that works.
You should have given us 20-point questions.
Yeah, right. So it says, finally, the Rude has returned to the PSVG podcast. And after the Rude reread the script and seen the spelling error, the Rude is now here to give some gaming truths or false. Because, he put something out and I was like, you're vetoed. That's not happening. And then he realized.
I saw the veto and I was like, I don't know what any of this means.
It was something to do. It was basically wrestling stuff. But he misread Devin and Delvin. He thought I wasn't going to be there. So he dropped wrestling stuff, and I was like, "That's vetoed." He's like, "Oh shit, that is vetoed because I wrong black guy."
Mania was amazing. It was super fun.
Yeah, I was gonna just save that for Delvin and you guys to be able to talk about.
Yeah. I mean, I honestly didn't know what to talk about, but it was super fun. I was just saying that it was a really, really awesome show. The second day,
I just laughed at R-Truth. That's all I can say.
Oh, that was incredible. That was super fun. Did you see his match at Mania, or did you just see the Raw segment?
I saw just clips from
Did you see him
having
the person in a ladder match.
I saw clips about him pinning somebody. I'm like
the finish on he pinned him. He's like, one, two.
He's like, but we won.
Cheered he's so entertaining. They need to give that man the belt. Give him the belt.
He is
fucking strap on him. Give him the pin. Let him pin Cena. Let him put over The Rock. Give the man this show.
Yeah, that mess was hilarious. Like him and they had
R-Truth is the people's champ.
A three-way tag match or whatnot. And he was like, but the third person is not here. And I guess it was John Cena who came out later.
You can't see him. You can't see John Cena. He's there. He's our third person you can't see.
Yeah, I was dying laughing at all that, and then him showing up with his belt.
Gimmick, right? Do you know that gimmick about R-Truth?
No.
He loves John Cena, so he does the 5
Oh, yeah, that's what he said. Yeah.
So he's always like impersonating or referring or talking about John Cena. It was like a goof that became a gimmick that now I think is actually genuine. I think John Cena loves it, and I think now it's actually just story. It's just kayfabed in now. But it's been a long running thing with him for 15 years. He's
hilarious, and he did bring the tag team belts back to Judgment Day.
That was so good. It was so good. And then to be like, and I think we should let the Miz. That was hilarious.
Yeah. That's about all I saw from that.
Listen, I know how we are about letting new people into our group. Trust me, I know.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Just hilarious. Oh man. So anyway, Rude Days has corrected his error, and he gives us this. True or false, the PS5 Pro will be revealed at the rumored May PlayStation Showcase.
Sounds right, but I'll say false.
Yeah, I'm also going with false. It just
Timing
could be,
feels
but
right. If they're launching it this fall, I mean, it should be, but I'm just going to go out and say no.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Now this is the hard one. It says true or false, Helldivers 2 will be the highest rated multiplayer shooter game published by Sony this year. Currently, the Metacritic is at 82. Sony, as of right now, has the final expansion of Destiny and Concord as its two multiplayer shooter games that will be published and released this year.
Does Destiny get its own expansion, get its own review?
Yeah.
That doesn't seem
It does.
right.
It does. Every year it gets its own review because it's like a whole new thing. They have new raids. They have a whole new enemy class. Like it's big enough to.
It's an expansion, though.
Yeah, it's big enough to warrant it something because there's so much different about the game.
Then, like, what would the Destiny 2 review score be, accounting for all of the expansions and everything?
It doesn't. Every expansion gets just its own standalone score.
I feel like that's not fair because the expansion is gaining from the benefit of the ongoing development that the game is not gaining from. Right? Like Destiny's expansion might be rated higher because of the advancements that Destiny's made over years that the actual core game is not reflective of.
I don't know about that. I would say, like, for example, the latest expansion, Lightfall, got a shit review because the campaign and everything about it was kind of mid.
Really?
Yeah, people fell off. Like, people were really mad
I was
about
thinking that each expansion would almost be like a capture in time of Destiny 2 overall. Like this
It's
expansion,
not.
It's not okay. Well,
It's not.
I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's really not that's not a moment in time. It's like this content. This
the poor
expansion.
part is those reviews came out before Helldivers took off, knowing if people could go back to it, and they may, like some outlets might go back to it and adjust those scores.
I don't think so. But yeah. So the latest expansion, I think Lightfall got a 70, maybe? Because I had picked it up in Fantasy League and got no points.
Fuck it, I'll take the under.
It's a true or false. So false. Helldivers won't be the highest rated, and something else.
Helldivers will be. Sorry,
okay.
I didn't read the context. I think I'm taking Helldivers as the highest rated shooter.
Yeah,
man, so calm or some shit.
Yeah, that's because the Destiny 2 final shape, man, it kind of like blew the fucking doors off. And Destiny is like back. So I'm like, oh god, this might.
Is it riding a high wave?
Oh yeah, it's riding a very high wave because they're doing a lot of stuff that people have been looking for. And if the story is any good, it might be 82. 95. It might be 85. I don't think it'll be 95. I think expansion. I don't think anything
ongoing
will ever be.
Jeff Keighley's ongoing game of the year.
What won it last year? Something stupid to me. I think won it last year. I'm gonna go with false. I think Destiny final shape is gonna get like an 85.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
See, I'm just rooting for democracy. I'm here trying to spread it. You're trying to keep it away.
No, you're not trying to spread shit.
You're trying
all right.
To keep it around.
We've tried to get you to spread democracy.
I've tried to spread democracy.
No, you ran into the dreaded server boss and gave up. All right, you're a quitter.
I died multiple times in the hands of server boss. It's like the damn fucking Knight and Hollow Knight just kept killing me over and over again.
You're gonna die a lot. That's just part of the game.
I'm not gonna keep doing this. This is not what I enjoy from video games.
Oh my god. I jumped into Sean's stream while he was streaming playing Helldivers today, and that was an experience.
I didn't know Sean was playing Helldivers. That's cool.
Yeah. Yarden gifted it for him because you know Sean's
clause of not next year I'm not buying anything. I'm just only going to make everybody that listens to our show buy me games for the year.
So yeah, Yarden gifted it to him. So he jumped in and played, I think a couple nights ago. And then he jumped into it today. He was playing like all my lunch breaks. So I was able to actually like watch the stream. And Yarden popped into our chat and was like, somebody please, Sean is streaming Helldivers, help him. Like, is anybody available to help him?
I feel you. That was probably me when I did play it. I was like, I don't know what the fuck. Why am I running out of ammo? I can't kill all these guys. Way too many people. Like
And you sound just like Sean.
I was
So
way
like
kind of lost.
I jumped in the
I didn't
stream
stand a
and I was just
chance
trying to
where I
help him
was.
out.
Like wherever I was, I didn't stand a chance in that place.
That's the
I
point.
called
Like
in
the
multiple
very
reinforcements, ran out of clips. I was like, oh God, this is not going well at all.
So I tried to explain to Sean, like, Sean, do you remember like the first battle in Starship Troopers? They got fucking slaughtered. That's kind of the point. Like you're going to get murdered and get your ass handed to you like that first fight as you're trying to figure out the game. But he's like, why do I only have 3 out of 7 clips? Why do I only have 2 out of 4 stems? Like, why am I not here with like full stuff? I was like, you have to build up to that. Like you get
I
there.
don't want to do that. I have no time for that.
And there's stuff all over the map. Like you're gonna find clips.
I found that stuff and
Yeah.
used it and exhausted it and was like, there were still 60 enemies. Like I wasn't even close. Like, it was like this is 5% of what I need. We're not even in the ballpark here.
And as you level up, you get more stuff, and you realize, oh, I can just call down reinforcements as soon as I drop. So call down, and you get fully stocked. And then
I did that.
but you also shoot center mass, and you can't do that. You gotta reserve your bullets.
All these things you bring in, like all these little fine prints, and
but it's things that you learn
Dev
over the course of the game.
It's the other thing, Sean, the devil will tell you, you're not supposed to play by yourself. Can you? You can. Nobody does. Nobody likes it. So
I do it all the time. I know.
Okay,
I know,
you're your own thing. You're the exception.
Plenty of people that play by themselves.
I will show you 100,000 tweets that say the otherwise.
I believe that, but you absolutely can. But you also can easily just play with randoms.
You're not supposed to.
It's very easy to just jump into a game with 3 other people. Like it's not like it's hard. It's very easy.
Yeah, but I don't
to play with other people.
I don't like playing with people.
Yeah, and this is why it's not a game for you at all, in any way, shape, or form.
This is correct.
And it's just not a game for Donnie at all. But Sean, I was like, you could.
If I was gonna play like that, you just play Warzone, and we'll just like blow up a helicopter and run around and just do that. Then we can just play that infinitely.
I'm not playing no Warzone. No, absolutely not. I can't get with that. Helldivers,
little hive busters.
Never again. Scarred me.
Helldivers wishes of hive busters. What a bunch of Johnny come latelys.
Nah.
Coattails.
Helldivers are still going. Just saying. It's great. Everybody spread democracy. June Dubs right now is spreading democracy while watching this show.
Not well.
He might not be spreading it well. I don't know how well he's spreading
it very far.
He might be. He might be. We don't know. He might be a savant. He might be murdering stuff. We don't know.
He's out here just slaughtering in the name of democracy.
Yeah, that's what I do. I'm a solo helldiver.
I appreciate the purge nature of all of it. It's very fun.
I enjoy it very much.
Yeah.
Thank you, Laura Stearns. Helldivers is the best. It's great. Everybody should play. Everybody should spread democracy.
Everybody.
Everybody in the club spread democracy. All right, anyway. Questions. TJ says 3 more games to go. What did you think of the season so far, and who do you like in the playoffs? I'm assuming he's talking about basketball.
I believe that to be correct.
I'm gonna let you take this because I haven't really watched any basketball at all. I'm just gonna say Minnesota and Boston.
That's good. Those are good picks. I like Minnesota. I don't believe in them, but I like them. I would like to see them. I would like to see them do something. It's not my Cavs. My Cavs are imploding here at the end.
You guys trading us Donovan Mitchell? Take Braun?
Losing their minds.
And get Bronny?
Yeah, we have to trade Donovan Mitchell and shit. I would trade Mitchell for Braun.
Yeah, do it, please.
Like 2 years of Braun. I would need something else too. I would need like a young asset, but yeah, I would do it.
Well, you're gonna get a young asset. You're gonna draft Bronny.
No. I need another young. I need a young player. I need a young player. Like we'll send you Mitchell and somebody else for Reeves and the Braun.
Absolutely not. Stop it. Yeah, you can just. We're not
Jared
giving
Allen.
up AR.
You're a big man, right?
Sure, take him.
Yeah, my Cavs are imploding. It's not their fault, and it's not Mitchell's fault. People are trying to fire the coach. I don't think it's the coach's fault, but if they wanted to fire the coach, I get it. He's not doing a whole lot of good for himself either. The Cavs are not good enough to be holding 4 or 5 injuries on the roster, which they've been doing for like 6 weeks. They're not star players. It is Mobley, but Mobley is not like a star player. but he's important to the defense. But it's role players. We're down Dean Wade. We're down our backup guard. We're down Merrill, the shooting guard. Are you there, Dev?
Yeah, I'm here. Listen.
Oh, you were like frozen. I was like, oh, did we lose him? You were so
I'm
still.
here.
I was like, oh shit.
I'm listening.
Yeah. So we've just been down. Like Mitchell's knee is hurt. He's bum. He's been in and out of the lineup like every other day. Garland was in and out of the line. Like we've just been injured, and we don't have enough. We're not good enough to warrant to like withstand those. Like our margin for victory isn't that wide like other teams are. We're good. We've got talent, but like we're not. We could lose to anybody. We're not like Boston good, right? We're not like the Cavs could lose a series to the Hawks 100%. Like they're right there. You know, they're like slightly above average. Like they're good, but they're not like real good. You know, I don't think they would be favorites in most people's eyes against the Knicks, against the Heat, against Boston, against Milwaukee. I don't think anybody would pick the Cavs against any of those teams.
Nah.
You know, and if you're not healthy, now they're actually vulnerable and they can lose. They can lose to Chicago and they can lose to Indiana. Like they can lose to some trash. By the way, did you see the Chicago shit that happened last night?
Yes. Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Shaqtin' a fool if there ever was one. Like, what?
I don't know what that was. When I first saw it, I was like, did Drummond just block his own player? And then when I watched the angle from the other side, I was like, did they just try to double dunk? Like, what was that? What
he just
was
didn't
going
know.
through his mind?
For some reason, Drummond thought he was throwing the ball, like throwing it off the backboard to him, and they both. I'm like, oh my god, you guys
like,
are.
You remember like those
misfits.
double bikes, like the Juicy Fruity? Yeah, the two guys, right? Like that's what it looked like. It's the most bizarre thing. But yeah, in the East, it really looks like Boston, which scares me because it's looked like that for a lot of years, and Boston hasn't made it out of the East. So I don't know who's going to beat them. I don't think it's
the
Miami.
Heat.
I don't think it's the Heat. I don't think the Heat have it this year. I really don't.
Yeah, and even if it was them, like they'd have to meet in the conference finals. Like, and it's the way the seedings are right now.
Philly's supposed to get Embiid back, and that's like maybe, but like, are they actually getting Embiid back, or is he just out there?
I think he's just out there. I think they even got fined recently for trying to play him or something like that. Like he's
I don't think that's a good situation.
Just shut it down.
Everybody hates the Bucks. I still kind of believe in the Bucks.
I don't know what
as terrible and awful as they are. And I say that as like if you watch ESPN, you think the Bucks are in like 10th place. They're
they're
second.
not. They're second.
They're like second. So they're just like so below their own standard that people think it's awful. But they're better
Giannis
than
is hurt.
Everybody else, and Giannis is hurt. But it's not like he doesn't need surgery.
No.
So like he should be in the playoffs at some point. He should come back. If they're in a close game, I'm not picking them, but if they're in a close game to the end, there are very fewer players than Dame Lillard that I want with the game on the line. I trust Dame a lot more than I trust Tatum. I do.
Yeah.
He's proven it. Now Tatum can take that back. He can earn that right, but until he earns it, I can't give it to him. Yeah. Dame is that guy. He is him. The people with constant sports talk coverage, we constantly rip players for what they're not. And you hear about Dame and they'll talk about advanced analytics and defense and shit. And all of that is true. Dame comes with his own faults, but he is that dude. He will send you home if you give him a chance. He will fucking send you packing. He's got a whole history of doing that. Yep. He's done it to a lot of teams on the biggest stage. Like he is that guy. And Giannis isn't that guy.
No,
and that used to always keep me away from really believing in them. So I wouldn't rule them out. If there's somebody to do it, I think it would probably, they have the best chance, I would say. The Knicks are deep. Yeah. And with Obi, they're very good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
I look at the East and I'm just like, man, there's so many teams that are like Boston. On the cusp. Like
it's Boston. They're better than everybody else.
They are. They are much better than everybody. But they keep finding ways to lose in the playoffs. Like that's what bothers me.
But it's not this team that hasn't lost in the playoffs. Those teams didn't have Derek White and Drew Holiday and Kristaps Porzingis.
Yeah.
That's a whole separate thing. That's a whole like they're really running a backcourt of Drew Holiday and Derek White. That feels unfair. That doesn't feel fair to anybody else.
It's
That's
cheating.
not. That's not cool. So like, it's hard to pick against them. Out west, it's more. There's more options there. But would I pick any of them over Denver? I wouldn't.
Yeah, like the Mavericks.
I want to pick Oklahoma City.
I was gonna say I want to pick the Thunder, and I kind of want to pick the Clippers, but I can't trust them.
Dude,
I feel like OKC is too young.
The Cavs lost because Paul George went off for like 20 in the fourth. The Cavs were roasting the Clippers the other night through like three quarters. We were beating the shit out of the team until Paul George got tired of taking it and just took over, which he can do.
Yep.
We don't really have takeover guy in Cleveland. That is kind of our issue. We have like 5 good players, but nobody's really takeover dude. Donovan gets like 3 games like that a year, but he's not takeover guy. Paul George is like, I'll take the whole series over and send your whole team home. He's like Jimmy Butler takeover guy. We don't have Jimmy Butler takeover guy. Now, you did bring up the Mavericks. The Mavericks have takeover guys.
They do.
2 of them.
2 of them.
And in the playoffs, that is a dangerous combination. Because I don't care if they're the 9th seed. They have the firepower to send your ass home. I wouldn't pick them either. They don't have the depth, but I wouldn't.
Yeah, that's my worry. They don't have the depth
either. Like if they were like, oh shit, they're game 6 Nuggets, I'd be like, yeah, I get it.
Yeah. I really can't see anybody beat the Nuggets. The Timberwolves are scary, especially if Cat comes back and has any ability.
They're too well oiled.
Yeah.
Denver has an identity. They do what Denver does. They play Denver's way. You have to beat them Denver's way. You got to beat them 4 out of 7 with them playing their way. And like, I think if Denver loses, Denver beats Denver.
Yep.
It's not because somebody else beat Denver.
I agree. You know who I'm never picking though? The sorry ass Suns.
Jokic is
trash.
Jokic's gonna work Gobert. He's not gonna play into that. He's not gonna let Gobert.
Yeah, but that'd have to be conference finals. Gobert, I can't stand him. God.
I love him.
I can't stand
He's on my 2K team on the Switch. I love him.
Of course he is. He's a video game player. He's not
City
real
man.
Life. Yeah.
Crazy pick and roll monster.
Ugh, get away from me.
Defensive. The best. And it's so funny you hate him because he is like your big man. Get on the block, do big man shit. That's what he does.
No, he has no real post game. Like
but like he doesn't have to. He's Marcus Camby. No. Defensive blocking and presence everywhere.
No, thank you. No, thank you. I don't want that. I loved Camby. I loved Camby at the time. I don't know. He doesn't remind me of Camby at all. I can't stand his ass. I cannot stand Gobert. Like,
but
if there's a player in the league, I don't like Cat either.
I don't like Cat either. I do like Ant though.
I like Ant. I want Ant to go somewhere else because I can't stand Gobert or Cat. Like,
he's their thing. I mean, look, that's no any major sports analysis there. Anybody can tell you that, but like, he's it. If he keeps ascending, they do have a chance.
Yeah.
But he has to be that takeover. Can he do it like that? Can he Jimmy Butler some shit? If he can, watch out.
I think he can, and I think he will. I think they're scary in the playoffs. They're scary. The Suns or the Kings, I don't care who wins that series to get against the Timberwolves after the play-in. Timberwolves are beating either one of those teams.
The Suns
are trash.
They were getting beat like 40-3 last night. Like,
yes.
What was happening? I saw the picture. Was sure it was a joke. It was like, in all actuality, it was like 35-7.
No, it was 45-3. Like no doubt.
Goodness, but they did make it close though by the end.
They did.
It was like 105-92. I was like, wow.
Yeah, the Clippers let off the gas. That's the problem. They should have just kept their foot on the neck.
Defense.
Yeah. But the Suns, I told you from jump this season.
You're right. You had it.
They had no.
They were going to do. Here's the thing. Crazy thing about this. I was sure that if it went south, it was because of the injuries. They have a lot of people that have injuries, and it has been that. Like they do have. Beal has been injured a lot. Durant's been in and out, but Durant is always in and out. Here's the thing. They got like 65 games out of Nurkic playing at a really good level. Nurkic hasn't played in like 8 years. Dude has been injured for like a decade. I was like, this is a terrible trade. The worst trade ever. That looks like an amazing trade now. Like, I was completely wrong. I don't know what happened. Nurkic couldn't play forever. Like, Dame could have really used Nurkic for like 6 seasons. And all of a sudden, like, I saw the stat line the other night. He had like 22 points, 19 rebounds, like 4 blocks. I was like, what the fuck? Like, what is happening? Nurkic? Do we have the right guy? Did they get a new Nurkic? And yeah, I haven't really heard of him. Not that I'm watching every Suns game, but I haven't really heard of him being injured at all.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's living his best life in Phoenix. You remember when Shaq went to Phoenix and he kind of had like a research, like there's something in the air or the water down there. It kind of does that to people.
Yeah, and they just signed Isaiah Thomas to the rest of the year, so he's now on a team.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yep,
I always loved him though. I always loved him.
I was so mad that he just was not in the league. I'm like, dude, you got to be kidding me! Like he's just not.
He hurt his knee, and in Cleveland,
it was his hip.
That's right. He hurt his hip in Cleveland, and he was never the same for us, and that really bothered me because LeBron came back.
He hurt his hip in Boston.
Right? No, but he had surgery. They traded him before he got surgery. They traded him for Kyrie. We got him in the Kyrie deal.
Yeah.
And then he got surgery and came back. And we had him with LeBron for a moment.
Yeah, I remember.
I was like, if we could get the pre-injury Isaiah Thomas with LeBron, like that could be crazy good. And we never got there. We never had a chance. He was putting up like 13-point games when LeBron. I was like, this is awful.
Trying to find his way back. But yeah, like I said, I feel like the Suns they don't have an identity. They don't have anybody who's leading that team. I don't think so. He was overseas and playing and I don't think he ever went to the Big Three. I think it was overseas and a lot of like, I want to not necessarily pick up. Like he was killing in all of these different little tournaments and stuff.
One of the folks I talked to basketball with at work, they had mentioned to me, I think they said that like Isaiah was in the Big Three league, and I was like dominating. He looked at me, I was like, dude, you put Isaiah on like a smaller court with less players, like is he putting up 100 a game? Are you kidding me? Because they asked, and it was also they were talking about Caitlin Clark, and they're like, what if she goes to Big Three? I was like, I was like, Isaiah Thomas will destroy her. What are you talking about? I was like, that can't be allowed. You can't do that. That's cruel. He was like, you don't. I was like, absolutely not. I was like, are you trying to ask me if Caitlin Clark can stick Isaiah Thomas? No. The answer is no. He's like, he's got a bad hip. I was like, the answer is still no. I was like, are you aware of what this man can do? Bad hip or not, he's a bad dude. He really is. You know, he doesn't get the space and stuff in the league because everybody's a 6'9" super athlete. But you put him on just a court and he will destroy the world. I would love to watch him just like school people at like, you know, fucking LA Fitness.
Yeah.
5'8" Isaiah Thomas comes in, scores 200 points, scores every basket. Yeah, I 100% could see it. He's a bad dude.
Yeah, he was in the G League for a while.
But... Oh, really? That didn't seem like somewhere he would do. Props.
Yeah, he was in the G League playing with the Salt Lake City Stars.
You think a lot of players would be like, I'm not going to the G League. You know, I'm not a G League player.
Shit, fuck that. I'd do it.
He's on that grind. He's like, no, I'm getting back. Good for him.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Like, he never gave up. He was always trying to grind his way back. Now he made it. And they signed him for the rest of the year.
I would love for Oklahoma City to be that Warriors thing. Like they come out, they're young, they're scrappy, they're talented, and they ascend at a moment when everybody else is not overlooking them because they're like second in the West, right? Like they're not being overlooked.
The third, yeah.
Okay, but they're not being overlooked. But like people are also not like thinking of like title, but they are title talented.
I think if they play the Pelicans, they'll beat them, and then they'll probably face
that'd be fun.
The Timberwolves, and they might not beat the Timberwolves.
Do they have the size for that?
I mean, Chet is tall, but that's it. Yeah.
I've never watched Oklahoma City play Minnesota. Just thinking of how that works, I would think that Gobert would just body the shit out of them, but you know, maybe they're better than that. I don't know. Because you can be small and still be tough as fuck and still like hold your own. Yeah,
Chet is definitely like he ain't no slouch. He's not just gonna get bullied and muscled over. But and I also
Gobert is a big dude.
He's a big dude, but
At
he's
some point,
lumbering and
size
he's
does
slow.
matter.
He's got no actual post game. I don't trust him. I don't trust him.
But
He's he's French. Like that's also a problem.
If he can keep Chet from having lots of post game, then that's good enough.
I don't think he can. I don't believe in him.
Okay.
I don't trust
him.
know.
I haven't watched him enough.
Yeah. I don't know.
I really like the guard that Oklahoma City. I know Chet gets all the love. So does
Shy.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't even think about him. The SGA is fucking stout. You know, you're right. He's incredible. I was thinking of the other guard that they have.
Oh,
like their wing that they've got. Their wing defender guard, like 2-3 guy, the swing man. Not the Aussie, playmaking passing guy. Not the dude that dates 14-year-olds. The other guy.
Who, Giddy? Not Giddy.
Yeah, not him. Not Diddy Giddy. Not that guy. They have another dude. It's like Jalen, I think. He's really good.
Jalen Williams.
Yeah, I like him.
They have two Jalens. Very two Jalens. And they got Gordon Hayward. It's always nice for, some points, a little vet leadership.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, if I had to guess, Denver, Boston.
That's also what
they're the favorite. It's hard. Like that's again, like they're both the 1 seed. I don't like picking that, but I mean, if I had to bet, that's who I'd bet on.
Yeah, with those two teams, it's hard. It's very hard to bet against.
Like an injury might derail that, but like if they're all healthy, they are better.
Yeah.
Like I said, Denver just gets easy shots. They're hard to beat.
They are. Denver got to beat Denver.
Yeah,
and that's hard. That's hard for them to do.
They play with eyes in the back of that. They know where everybody is. They got chemistry, man.
They're cheaters.
On point.
No,
it's the opposite of that. Their damn game is so fundamental.
It's cheating.
It's not cheating. It's how it should be done. Because nobody does it. It's so funny that they are operating that way. They are so not the ISO beat you one-on-one. Like they don't do that. They pass the ball. They get open looks. They get easy looks. And they're
the new age Spurs. That's what they
beat you to death with like fucking fundamental good basketball that you don't even like. It doesn't even affect you when it happens. You're like, we'll get that one back. We'll get that one back. We'll get that. And 50 possessions later, you're like, are we ever going to get any of these back? Are they ever going to miss?
It's the super boring. We just get it done.
It's like clockwork, man. Like they really got it down.
Yeah.
But an injury to Murray would derail it all. Like they don't have a lot of depth. They need their core four.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They got Joker. They got Murray. They've got I would call him the Rook.
Gordon.
Who's the Rook? Michael. I don't know. Does he have the 3 names? What's the dude with the 3 names? His back was like destroyed coming out of college. Right?
I don't know.
I was going to say Michael Carter Williams, but it's not it. That's the
Michael Carter Gilchrist, MGC?
No, that was the Charlotte guy. That was some time ago too. But yeah, something like that. Not Taylor Horton Tucker. It's one of those guys.
All these damn 3 name people.
Yeah, that dude. Hyphenated dudes. Like, when did this start becoming a thing?
Michael Porter Jr.?
Yeah, that's
Contavious Caldwell Pope. They got a squad, man. They're cheaters.
No, it's the Orlando guy. Fucking rim runner that they've got.
Aaron Gordon?
Yeah. That's a really good fit for them. That's a fit. Joker's running the point, getting all these open looks, backdoor cut, and all of a sudden you've got super freak Aaron Gordon flying out of the, jamming shit. Like, yeah.
Yeah, and you still got DeAndre Jordan if you need somebody to come and just beat somebody up for a little bit.
He's fucking 50s. It's Charles Oakley of the league.
Mm-hmm. You got KCP. Jordan. Like, they're cheaters. This squad is not fair.
I honestly think, I think it's a lot of people have better squads on paper.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people have better 8. The problem is you don't have a better 5.
Yeah.
Their 5 are really good.
And they work together really well.
They're
like
good
it's a
together.
completely unselfish team.
5 is better than your 5.
Yeah.
And you can't beat them with 8. Their 5 is too good. You got to beat them with 5.
Cheating ass bastards.
Suns could. They did twice.
Yeah. But
2 times they were able to do it.
Suns are
a team like Dallas, I'm like, could they do it? Could they beat the Nuggets? Maybe. I could just see Kyrie and Luka just cooking. Be like, you know what? We're not doing it because 1-on-1.
Yeah.
We're just
the problem. the problem is they'll both score 40 and then nobody else scores and there's no
95,
defense
92.
being played. So they get beat 120 to 90.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, but like those guys are like, I took that personally, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They both have that.
Bad man. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Imagining trading Luka Doncic for Trae Young. I still torment my
Does that
best
haunt
friend.
your friend to this day?
Yeah, I still, every time we talk, I'm like, you had him. He was right there. You traded him away for Trae Young and a pick. What was wrong with you? Why? You should have fired everybody.
Well, Donnie, it's been 3 hours and
Just want to call
my
it?
wife needs to get some sleep because she's got a very long day ahead of her tomorrow.
So yeah,
she's got to drive to LA and go teach the things she's never taught before after teaching her class here. So let's
I did homework for a question and I forgot. I'll have to save it.
Yeah, we'll have to
save it for another day.
There's a lot of good questions in here, but when
Tune
me and Donnie get on here,
Dragon PSVG.
Indeed. So yeah, Delvin, hopefully you return next week because I won't be here.
Come back.
So you got to come back.
Please come back.
All right, this has been fun. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, please play some video games.
Nobody sleeping in the middle of the bed. The middle of the bed is only where you do the business. But when everybody's ready to sleep, it's the side of the bed that can't be beat. It's the middle of the bed where lovers meet. But when it comes time to slumber, it's the edges. Ooh, 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 the edges.